What's up, chat? We are back. Welcome back to day 144 of Vibe Coding an App Until I Make $1 million. Today's going to be a good one, chat. We've got an insane new update to BridgeSpace that I'm going to be working on today. You guys get to see it here first. As you guys can see here, I have, let's turn down the music just a little bit so I can show this to you guys. But I literally have 10 agents running in what I call a BridgeSwarm. And this is a new feature inside of BridgeSpace that launched last night. If you guys were in the BridgeMind co-working channel in the Discord, you guys saw it there first. But this is new and this is big. And what you guys can see here is that basically I'm able to set up agent swarms and they all are able to communicate with one another. And I, as the operator, can literally communicate with them here. For example, I'm able to communicate with all the agents or particular agents. And like, for example, in this swarm, there are 2 coordinators, and then there are 5 builders and 2 scouts and 1 reviewer. And this is new. And I think that as we build this out, this is going to change a ton in the space of vibe coding, and we are going to be the people to build it. So this is what we're going to be working on today. You guys get to see how this works. We're going to be working on it more. But with that being said, let me turn down the music just a little bit. Or I guess the music is, there we go. Let's just turn down the music a little bit, and we'll get the chill music on. I had an issue. The reason I was so late to the stream, I had an issue with my AirPods. I don't know what's up. But let's turn the chill music on and get started for the day. What's up, chat? How's everybody going? Yeah, we're going to do a cold plunge live today. We are back. Let me pause the Chief Keef there. Get some chill music on here. Turn it down a little bit. And hold on, is this good? Okay, perfect. All right. So what's up, guys? So let me know if that music volume is good. But we're back. And as you guys can see, this is a big update to BridgeSpace. And literally all you can do now, this is what BridgeSpace looks like now, guys. So literally I just do Command-T and create new workspace. You can now decide between a BridgeSpace, which is basically, what we normally work with, right? A workspace of terminals. So I can do this, and this is what this now looks like. I worked on this a lot. So for example, I'll CD into desktop, and then I'll CD into BridgeMind, and then I'll launch, let's say, 12 sessions, right? So I'll do 12. I'll do, let's say I want to launch 12 Claude agents. I'll just do 12, and then I'll do launch workspace, okay? So this is what we've been used to, right? This is what BridgeSpace is, but we are now integrating, the concept of bridge swarms. And I was using that, and literally I was using bridge swarms to create bridge swarms last night. So, I think that, like, for me, I said this yesterday at the start of the stream, but things are changing. From my perspective, what we're doing at BridgeMind, building in public, building a suite of vibe coding tools, this is working. And for example, yesterday, I got another 20 pro subscribers to BridgeMind, right? And today I have another 10 so far. And by the end of the stream, it'll probably be up to 20 to 25. So if you guys have not already gotten BridgeMind, make sure you do so, because there are going to be more systems like BridgeSwarm coming. Put AirPods in the case, wait 5 seconds and take them out. Happens to mine all the time for the AirPods Max. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But also, guys, we are going to be doing a cold plunge today. So if you guys have not already liked, subscribed, and joined the Discord, make sure you do so. Somebody actually dropped in. Let me pull this up real quick, because somebody told me that they had an issue with the Discord link. So let's just take a look at that. Now, the thing about swarms is that you don't always want to be using them, right? There's not always a use case for swarms. Drew, Drew, you and I were talking a little bit, and this is what I wanted to show, this is what I've been working on, guys. Like, this is what I've been building. I will say, so it says, wait, hold on here. It says that this is now working. Hold on, try the Discord link again, because it is now working. I don't know why it threw that 403, but yeah, so this is what we've built. This is what we're calling now BridgeSwarm, and this is available natively inside of BridgeSpace. So if you want to use this, if you want to try this, literally all you have to do is you do Command-T, and then you're able to launch a BridgeSwarm, and then this is what it looks like to create a BridgeSwarm. So literally, let's just zoom in a little bit, and I'll show you guys how this works. So let's say that I want to create a new swarm related to API security, okay? So I'll put this in, and then I'll CD into, let's just CD into desktop, and then CD into BridgeMind, and then CD into the BridgeMind API, okay? And then the swarm mission goal is going to be, let's give it a quick prompt. The goal of this swarm is to evaluate the API and identify security vulnerabilities and to patch them and fix the security vulnerabilities that it identifies. So for example, there's a couple things that we need to change. So right now, like this goal is shared with the agents via the swarm board. They literally will message each other. So then after you kind of set the mission and you do that, you then set up your agent roster. So for example, squad, team, platoon, battalion, or a legion. This is kind of just kind of having fun at this point. But literally, I could launch 50 agents. That's a little bit overkill for something like this. But, you know, I will do a squad. And a squad out of the box has 1 coordinator, 2 builders, 1 scout, and 1 reviewer, okay? So let's now launch this swarm. And remember, this is very early on. And what you can see here is you literally have, the view here, which is kind of gives you a nice UI. You have the operator console over here on the right. So if you guys look at this, this is the operator console. And then I'm literally able to message my agents. So if I want to just send a message to the coordinator, you know, the coordinator just messaged, it said, hey, it completed the API security review and integrated fixes, landed on API key rejection for inactive missing users, stripe mutation throttles, redirect user info rejection. So this one's reviewing. And like how this works is I can literally open up terminals anytime, and here is what I'm looking at, right? You can look at these terminals and what they're doing at any time that you want. And this is how this works. It's actually a pretty solid system that we're going to be able to build out here. My only concern is the cost of the swarms. Not everybody will be able to fund that, I reckon. Yes, but the thing is that this is the way that things are like basically headed, right? It's like, hey, you don't have to launch a swarm of 20 agents, but if you're a super user, like I am, yes, like I'm going to be launching 20 agents. And, you know, it's very interesting. Drew said, I have had a sick idea to improve team building. We'll send a DM. Okay, let me know. Awesome. Hard Hacker said, why not make it a quad and a team of 4? That's a good idea. Yeah. So what do you mean? Just like when you're doing the quick starts, the templates. So, you know, that's why you can stop them all at any time. But the really cool thing is that I can literally message them at any time that I want. So literally here on the right panel, like let's say that I want to send a message. So you can see that Builder 2 is coordinating with Coordinator 1. So Builder 2 said, hey, Builder 2 here, I'm ready and waiting for a task. I've already done preliminary security scanning of main, app.module, course config, and raw SQL usage. And it's saying basically that it's ready. So there's a lot of updates that we need to make. You know, literally I was just up till like, what was it? I think it was like 11 o'clock, 11:30 last night, literally hanging out in the BridgeMind Discord with you guys, building this, having a philosophical discussion with the community. So shout out to you guys. What would be the use case of this swarms? Literally, you're looking at it right now, right? Like this swarm is literally doing the goal of this swarm. If you look up here, the goal of this swarm is to evaluate the API and identify security vulnerabilities and to patch them and fix the security vulnerabilities that it identifies, right? And these agents are all able to work together and message each other. And then like I showed you here, I can message any of these agents with like a particular thing, right? So if I only wanted to message the coordinator, I could literally just say, make sure that the agents are reviewing SQL injection, right? So we'll just do that, right? And I just sent a message to Coordinator 1. So Coordinator 1 is now like, okay, let me now, it's going to be able to message. Look at this. So now it's able to message like some of these other, look at this, review of all 88 uncommitted files is complete. 7 substantial security fixes approved. 3 issues found. So these are all working together, and this is BridgeSwarm. This is what we're doing. So yes, I do use Gemini mostly for UI, but yes, I think that this is going to be a big deal. This is a substantial feature that is highly marketable and highly demoable, and this is just the beginning. We're going to be able to use this, and this is only available inside of BridgeSpace. Hung said, sick if we can delegate models to each agent of the swarm. Yes, you can. So I do want to show you guys that. Let me move the desk down a little bit, and I will show you guys that. Also, how's Big T doing? Is he doing good over there? Big T, what's up, man? I don't know. Big T is with us. I took him out for a walk. He took a dump on my neighbor's lawn, didn't pick it up. It was awesome. Just kidding. Okay, so we go some people questioning Elon Team's idea to everyone doing it now. Yeah, I mean, I think that you need to be having all these agents work together, right? I think that that's definitely a requirement. And I will say that this will give you a better result. So this is shipped. This is live. It's a little bit more stable on macOS. I think that there's some things on Windows that I'm going to have to iron out. I was actually talking to some people inside of the co-working Discord this morning, the channel, and just kind of figuring out like, hey, like what is the best way to make it stable on Windows if I'm primarily developing on Mac? And you know, I think the best way is I do have a Windows computer here, and I just need to allocate maybe like one night to like use it on Windows, identify, you know, issues on Windows and then fix them. But look at this. So coordinator just messaged me and it said status update, all agents active, Scout 4 audit shows strong security posture, no new high critical vulnerabilities found, previous swarm fixes all verified. So there's interesting things like this where we now need to start to implement some changes. This was just a test. I also have a swarm that was running related to the UI, and it was running for basically to improve our SEO. And you guys can see that there's been 43 messages in this swarm. So they're all working together, 6 agents in parallel. These are all Claude Code agents, but you know what's really cool is that you have the option to select what you want, right? BridgeSwarm, BridgeSpace, whatever you want. I also did make some changes to the basically the theming. Look at this, neon tech is kind of cool, but there's a bunch of different themes now. But are you going to use Elon's CLI when it comes out? He said he's making one. Interest to see what it will be. I mean, yeah, aren't they probably just going to make like a Grok API? Yeah, I would assume so. How's work going? It's going good. Yeah, I mean, I think that like what I see on my end, you know, doing BridgeMind and seeing everything come in is that like there has been a substantial uptick in subscriptions. And just like while I'm streaming, I think people are it's really starting to resonate with people, the mission. So this one is now done. So Scout 4 audit complete, all 4 scans finished, board updated with full findings. So like even for this, does anybody in the chat have suggestions of what they would like to see with this? Because I think that this is definitely like there's certain issues where like, for example, not being able to, or I guess I can, it's just like, can I switch these? Just this here, for example, is a little bit odd. I want to be careful in the updates that I do make, but let's launch BridgeSpace, not just locally, but let's actually launch the production version. So here, that's the local version, and now what I need to do, oh, hold up. I do need to update to the latest version here. Hold on, chat. Open browser. Ooh, okay. Okay, there is a bug here. Let's see, what version is this? So the issue here is that this is opening up the wrong, literally the wrong URL. It's opening up app, so it's literally opening up, it's going to this. I think this is, hold on, let me pull Finder up real quick and look at my applications just to confirm this briefly here. So if I go here and I go to BridgeSpace and I go to get info, is it 1.0.41? What is this? Yeah, 1.0.41. Okay, let's try quitting this then, because that shouldn't be happening. Hold on, chat. So this is local. This is working well. Stop using GPT 5.4 for UI. The glow effect is old. The glow effect. I actually think I was using. I mean, we can have Gemini do a revamp here. Are you talking about the glow effect on like when you do this though? Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that I think the UI is a lot better. I think that, like, with UI, a lot of people will ask, like, how do you get UI and stuff? And it really is, like, UI is not something that you're just, like, finish and just, like, leave. Like, I feel like it's something that you improve over time, right? So this is the look that I'm at right now, but this is obviously going to improve. So you should definitely check out CMux. Been using it there, and a lot of interesting features there that you can adopt. It's open source CMux. I've never checked that out. CMux. Let's check that out. CMux. Let's see, CMux, the terminal built for multitasking. So this is what Hung just dropped in. I'll take a look at that. Okay, so this is now done. Let me try to launch BridgeSpace again. And hold on, here's Bridge Voice. Let's launch BridgeSpace here, application. So the issue that I'm having in production right now is that this launched, literally when I went to sign in with browser, it went to the wrong URL. So let's fix that. That's an issue for sure. So let's just fix that. I do need to launch this inside of something like Cursor real quick, because as I'm updating this, it's going to be restarting. So let's go over here briefly. Okay, let's go over here and let's drop this in. I'm going to drop in, let's drop in BridgeSpace Tari, and that needs to be fixed because I literally can't log in until I fix this. I need you to review this in depth. Why is it that I am getting redirected to the wrong URL when I click sign in? And I'm literally getting redirected to this here. Review this. I got redirected here when I clicked it in production. Why is this happening? It's happening on this version. 3.1 Pro is at 81 tokens per second finally. Yeah, it is interesting. Like, I think that Google did fumble a little bit on their release, because what happened was they actually had a really strong release, But then what happened was they just like, I don't know, like I used it and I thought that 3.1 Pro was like amazing. But then it just like kind of fumbled, it just wasn't as good like after, a week or something with after using it. So I was a little bit disappointed, honestly, with it, but I don't use it as much. But the thing is that for UI purposes, it is like really, really good. So I will continue to use Gemini 3.1 Pro for styling. I was using it yesterday for styling. So most of the styling that you see with BridgeSpace actually is that. So let's go here. Would you review the application and identify why it is routing to this page, which is incorrect? Obviously, it's routing to the incorrect URL. Why is this happening? Identify, diagnose what is causing this. Don't update any code, but just pinpoint the bug and show it to me. All right, so let's drop this in, and I'm just going to let's use GPT 5.4 with this, and we're going to drop in upgrade BridgeSpace. Tari is already dropped in, and let's see what this does, and once we get that going, then we should be able to fix that. Okay, so this one also is now done. And these agent swarms will update a ton of code. I mean, it will update a ton, and it looks like these are all now done. So if we go back to our terminals here, you can see that all of our agents in this swarm are now done working. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 agents in this swarm that were all working together, coordinating with one another to be able to implement SEO improvements. And this is something, again, that I implemented yesterday, and I actually built this using GPT 5.4 for the most part. Like the console that you guys see, I kind of just had an idea for it, and I was like, all right, let's build this, right? I think 3 Pro is better than 3.1 Pro in UI, but sadly 3 is leaving us. I think 3.1 Pro is better. The Remotion skill, what did you use for the promo videos for your homepage? Yeah, I used Remotion. Yes, Remotion. All right, let's go here. And let's see if this is identifying any issues so that we can actually get this updated. But the biggest thing that I do need to focus on this coming week is most certainly getting Windows stable. So I think that like I just need to sit down and I need to spend about 5 to 6 hours developing locally on Windows in like piecing out some of these bugs. But I will say like on macOS, it's working very, very well. And I am seeing a massive uptick in subscriptions. So even so far today, March 6th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 new Pro subscribers. So, what we're doing is working. And that's why yesterday, like one thing that I did mention and kind of why I started the stream with an announcement is it's like, hey, what we've done with BridgeMind is working. And I just want to take a step back and say, okay, like let's make sure that we don't make any mistakes or issues or create problems as this is working. And I think that if we just ship code and we lock in and we focus, hey, over 3 months, like I said, we're going to hit 10,000 in MRR. I think that by the end of March, we'll probably be at 3,000. We'll be at 3, maybe even more, honestly. If we can just have like something go viral on X or something like that, that would do very well. Or even on YouTube, that would also do well. What screenshot program is he using? I need that. I'm using CleanShot X. Like CleanShot X is fantastic because you're literally able to like highlight things. So watch this. So if I do if I do Command Shift 4, just like you normally would, right? Like let's just do this, right? I can literally click this, and then, for example, if I'm trying to pinpoint like one thing that I want the AI to look at, I can highlight that. Shout out to WDam for that recommendation. He was the one that recommended that. It's been very helpful for my workflow. So it says that it has a strong candidate. The Tari backend is ignoring the deep link callback. It's given and generating a fresh redirect instead. I'm checking the surrounding flow once more so I can show exactly what it produces. I just am curious, why is it redirecting? Okay, it is not an accidental redirect from the website. The desktop app constructs the URL itself. Yeah. Yeah, this needs to be fixed. Create a structured plan on the updates that need to be made so it is routing to the correct URL for production. This is a big issue. So let's do plan mode real quick with GPT 5.4. And I will say, like, GPT 5.4 is strong model. Let's see, are these fixed yet? Oh my gosh. All right, not yet. All right, let's turn the music up just a little bit, chat. There you go. All right, but yeah, I mean, I think that Hey, buddy, just curious, how much do your AI subscriptions or AI API expenses total each month? Thanks. Yeah, so, you know, they fluctuate. They definitely fluctuate, but, you know, the one thing that I'm now seeing is it's like, hey, as we continue to get bigger and bigger, it just makes more sense for me to spend more money on AI, right? So, like, even this month, for example, like, I bought Cursor Ultra, and I bought Gemini Ultra, and I bought ChatGPT Pro, and I have Claude Max. I literally have all the Max subscriptions because of my current position, it doesn't make sense to be limited by rates at all, right? It's like literally it pays to be able to have all these plans and have maximum usage. The difference between BridgeSpace and OpenCloud, there is not really, you can't really compare the two. BridgeSpace is like literally it's an ADE, an agentic development environment. So you can't really compare those two. Also, what's up with here? Like sometimes with the states, the state management will just like clear on these. And I did notice that as more terminals opened up, the performance of the application does slow down significantly. So for example, like literally right now inside of BridgeSpace, we can check the, let's actually just open up activity real quick. Actually, can I even see this? Okay, so right now I'm using 67 gigs of memory on this computer. Let's wait for this to load real quick. No, Grok heavy, what do you mean? iScreenShotter does this too, but yeah, CleanShot X is the best for macOS. Also cheap, 29 bucks or something to use it until you die. Yeah, it's a lot better. This UI is looking more like StarCraft every day. Yeah, but yeah, look at this. So Windows Server. So this is using a lot of memory here, but like the thing is that it's like, hey, we can't really do a ton about that. We have like freaking 30 terminals open inside of BridgeSpace. So that's like the biggest issue that I can see happening is like, yeah, if we go here, if we open up terminals, this has 5 terminals open that all have their states. That does well though, I will say, like with this, okay, look at that. Do you guys see this? The state clearing. What is causing this? Do you guys see how I literally clicked away and then I came back and all of a sudden the states were just like completely cleared, okay? This is obviously an issue, okay? Like this is a problem. The states can't be just like clearing like that. That's a huge issue. So let's go back over to Cursor here and let's use, I'm not kidding. I think that 5.4 is a pretty good model, guys. Like, I need you to review the screenshots here. For some reason, sometimes when I click away off of terminals pages or swarm pages, the terminals will just clear their persistence or their state. Do you see how all of these are blank? It's because I clicked away from the workflow tab and then I clicked back and all of a sudden they had all cleared. Would you do an in-depth review with subagents and identify and diagnose why this is happening and solve this bug and then create a structured plan to fix this? Okay, so we're going to put this in plan mode. Again, GPT 5.4 in max mode. I mean, I think that the model's pretty good, guys. How many paying customers do you have right now? Cool product. Keep up the good work. Yeah, so we have hundreds. So, like, we're up to, like, right now, I released the MRR yesterday. It was, like, you know, what was it? It was 1,460. The thing is that there is churn, right? So like, for example, yesterday we had 20 new pro subscribers, but we do offer a trial. So even if people want to pay, even if they would convert, we put them through the trial first. So for example, like yesterday, we had 20 new pro subscribers, but right now they're trialing. So like right now the trial conversion rate is around 23%. So that's actually not great. Or no, actually it's higher than that. That was just yesterday. It's like 25%, 26%. So like out of those 20, we'll probably have 5 that stay on through the trial. And then we'll see that revenue come through like next week, right? So like we'll continue to see this go up. I mean, we could end up like just taking the trial away. It just depends on how good we can get this. But as we get the product better, and this is what I'm excited about, as we get BridgeSpace better, as we get it more stable on all operating systems, that's going to go up significantly. Like we're going to really focus in on the product and just make it a killer product. Like this BridgeSwarm here, like this is something that I don't think that anybody else is doing this, like Cursor or nobody. So we'll see here. We'll see what happens. In Cursor, select 5.4 extra high fast model, not regular 5.4. Okay. I mean, right now it's already still working, but yeah, I can do that. Let's enable that real quick. What is this real quick? Wait, hold on. Let me test this. What is this? Toggle agents. Toggle agents. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me enable that model real quick, and then we'll get into that. Okay, so literally if you go to models in Cursor, there's like, I did see this, like 5.4 high, extra high fast. So we'll do this one, 5.4 extra high fast. That's the model we want to use. And we'll switch it to this one, and we'll actually have it implement the code with that one. But let's also check this one. Let's change it to this one. We'll implement with 5.4 extra high fast. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good model. All right, Super Combo Gamer said check DM. Seem nice and notice I can glow. Oh, nice. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at this. Literally, Super Combo just recreated the UI and said, check this out. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a lot more professional for sure. Let's do that. Let's switch to Gemini 3.1 here. And I won't grab the HTML, but I will. I feel like I could probably get this out of just like one prompt. Let's add BridgeSpace Tari. And there's a couple things that for us to then, ship this, we're going to have to make some updates. I want you to take a look at the BridgeSwarm page and help me make it a little bit more professional and clean. Right now, there is too much glow and the components aren't very professional or modern. Would you modernize this and remove the glow effects that are unprofessional, review in depth, and fix? And then I'll literally just go over here and I'll pass this in. But yeah, I do agree with you. If we zoom out here, yeah, just the glow, that can definitely get a lot better there. But just as a whole, this page, probably in general, we can take this up a little bit. So let's move this here. Gemini 3.1 Pro, like somebody said in the chat, it is a little bit more stable now. So I'll drop that in. It should do a good job. I gave the HTML file as an example. Yeah, thank you. What compute do I use? What compute? What do you mean compute? I don't know the hidden charges cost, but I have subscribed to the channel. Let's see. To the channel, meaning like subscribe to BridgeMind or subscribe to like the Pro plan, because with the Pro plan, there's no hidden costs or fees. Like it's a $20 a month. All right, let's see here. Okay, all right, so this is running now. This one's running as well. So yeah, so this is the issue that we had. So on production, it was literally it just had this here. It needs to fall back to that. That's the right approach there. Now I am curious as to like, oh wait, hold on, env release. Okay, so what is this doing? Hold on, let me check this real quick. Release, API, app, API. BridgeSpace, web. All right, hold on here, chat. So this is the release. So this is where it sets the environment variables, right? What do I have to say about 5.4? I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm using it right now. I'm using 5.4 extra high fast. I think that like, yeah, I mean, I think that people like kind of sleep on OpenAI models to some extent. Like, would you take a look at the URLs associated with upgrading their subscription and make sure that those are routing to the correct BridgeMind app web URL? Like, this is a little bit off. Like, why is there no URL for the app? For example, with the button where users are able to upgrade their subscription, what URL will that route to in production? Do a review and tell me in chat what it would route to based on the current code. Is this open source? No, this is not open source. We're actually like trying to build a tech company here. I think that like that's the thing, is it's like I even talked to you guys about this, and let's move the desk up a little bit so that we can actually like get the energy going. Let's drop a 50 bomb too. Who's chat? We didn't do any push-ups last stream because I told you guys that it's like, hey, this is the main thing that I was highlighting last stream, but I do not want to get away from like, I don't want to become an entertainer. I don't want to become a content creator. I literally like can't stand it. Not that I can't stand like live streaming and stuff, or like it's just that that's not what I'm a builder first. And everything that you guys see, like, that's what I want you guys to understand, is that, like, I'm not creating content so I can get views and clicks and money, okay? Like, this is the marketing outlet for BridgeMind, and this is, like imagine going to, let's say, a VC, or imagine going and raising investor funding and saying, oh, I built this app, it's BridgeSpace, and, it does XYZ, it's an ADE, and you're pitching them this idea, right? And they're like, you have, like, nothing to your name. Like, you just have a product, right? But the thing is that when I do go raise money, I'm able to say, yeah, we have a community of, 70,000 builders. We have a Discord of over 6,600 members, and we have currently 52,000, close to 52,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we have a really strong community and are basically a leader in the vibe coding movement. Like, that is why, you guys have seen this journey, is that, yes, like, to some extent, this is a pretty big way that you can do marketing. Let's do this. Let's drop this one into. But let's see here. When people sign in, they should stay signed in and replace the login and sign up button with dashboards link. Much better US tide barrier. What do you mean with what? Informal bug report, new BridgeSpace update on Windows launching command terminals consistently and closing. It's looping on short intervals. Yes, so this is an issue, okay? And I appreciate you dropping this in because this is my biggest problem, okay? I'm literally working with you guys right now on my Mac, right? And I can't work on my Windows in like, I can't work on both at the same time, at least like I haven't done it before. You probably can, but I've never done it before like that. So let me pull up your comment here and see if we can figure out what's actually causing that issue. Let me pull this up here, and let's go over to, okay, let's go over, let me pull up this chat, and we'll drop this in and see if we can figure out what's happening. So I appreciate your bug report, thank you, because that's the only way that we can actually fix some of these issues, at least right now, until I, you know, start launching this stuff. So let's go to GPT 5.4 extra high fast. I need you to do an in-depth review and identify what is causing this error on Windows and create a structured plan for fixes. So let's now drop it in plan mode and we'll ship this. And again, this is GPT 5.4 extra high fast. This is basically the fastest, most capable model inside of Cursor for GPT, okay? I spent the whole day trying to fix the UI bugs with Gemini 3.1 Pro and it still couldn't solve them. Switched to Codex and GPT 5.4 fixed them, everything in one prompt. That's interesting. I mean, I think that Gemini 3.1 Pro is able to create like more unique UI. If you've ever been to YC Founder Camp, you realize most of them are stupid and their ideas aren't even half of what BridgeSpace is trying to offer, but they raised at least a few $100,000. Yeah, I think that like I've been like pretty open about this too, is that, oh yeah, so this is wrong. This is what I was worried about. Okay, we need to introduce new environment variables and just structure this better because that is not correct. What even is this? Is this settings page? So settings page TSX. So do you guys see how this is routing to web URL? And the web URL is set to this one here, right? So there needs to be a differentiation between these two URLs. There needs to be a differentiation between app.bridgemind.ai and then the actual website. There needs to be a differentiation between the website UI URL at www.bridgemind.ai and the BridgeMind app URL at app.bridgemind.ai. I need you to introduce and change these environment variables respectively because these are two different things. For example, manage subscription is at the app URL and logging in is at the website URL. So review this, create a structured plan, and implement the changes that are needed. What about the mobile view layout? What do you mean? What do you mean for what? Let's do a plan here. I mean, GPT 5.4, here's the thing, okay? Like, and I said this in my video today, but like this is one thing that I'm really gonna like hammer home about. I used to be a main, like Codex used to be my main, okay? And let's put some goals up on the list today, but Codex used to be the main tool that I used to use. I never used to use Claude Code. I literally never used to use it, but I started to use it because I started to use Claude Code because, like, literally, when Opus 4.5 came out, it didn't make sense to use GPT-5 anymore. It literally didn't make any sense. Like, why would you use GPT-5 when Opus 4.5 exists, right? And then what happened was, you know, with these new models, I mean, you can, and I already showed some of this, but for anybody that hasn't been like keeping up to date, anybody that hasn't been watching the videos, you guys need to be clued in on this because the landscape is constantly changing, and if you blink, you're gonna fall behind. So that's one of the reasons that you watch BridgeMind streams is because, yeah, I'm not a content creator. I'm not interested in creating goofy content. I literally can't stand it, honestly. But you know, you do what you gotta do because, yeah, like, you know, BridgeMind is the home of the vibe coding movement. And yes, I mean, I've been doing this for over 3 years, and I'm pretty good at it. And like, yeah, if you guys want to come to a place where you're going to get the actual, like, you know, information that you need to know about vibe coding, this is the place to be. So look at this, the coding index. So this is artificial analysis. Shout out to Super Combo Gamer because he was the one that basically put me on to this benchmark. But this is definitely an important benchmark to look at. So artificialanalysis.ai, and look at this. 5.4 gets 57 compared to Opus 4.6 at 48. So even if we drop in Gemini 3.1 Pro, it also does a little bit better on this benchmark here. So let's drop in 3.1 Pro. I think it's 56. Yeah, 56. So that one performs well as well. Add light mode to the website. This isn't my website, but yeah, they need to. But this isn't my website. So if I go to Agentic Index, also 5.4 performs very, very well. 69, where Opus 4.6 gets 68, and then 3.1 a 59, and then Intelligence Index, it's at 57. So what you guys are seeing is that this new 5.4 model, like, people don't realize, they'll be like, oh, I'm so used to Claude models are the best, And it's like, dude, like you just have to keep up with the landscape because the landscape will change and you can't write off models as soon as they come out. Kerr, what's up? How's it going, man? Good to see you. So, you know, GPT 5.4 is not yet in LM Arena. On BridgeBench, it literally blew out Claude models on BridgeBench. This is the actual, like, when you're testing it locally, this is what I saw on BridgeBench, okay? GPT 5.4 is #1 on BridgeBench. It's insane. It literally got #1. So definitely something to look at. I think that there was a bug for the latency, but so don't worry about the latency. But look at the overall score, 95.5. That is insane. So definitely something to take note of. Let's go back over here and see what this is doing. So yeah, so BridgeMind web URL. We need to change it. We just need to have a web app URL. That would be nice. So BridgeSpace app URL, BridgeSite website URL. So that's perfect. So it's going to introduce an additional environment variable. So this is ready to build. That looks good. Verify end-to-end relationships. Let's build this. And then this takes about 30 minutes to build and deploy. Timeless, what's up? How's it going? LM Arena is very delayed, yes. Because, I mean, they literally have to have people use it, right? So, you know, let's pull up BridgeSpace because now that more people are here, you guys need to be clued in on this, okay? Because this is probably one of the biggest advancements and biggest jumps that we've had in BridgeMind to date is that we are seeing significant traction for the BridgeMind.ai Pro subscription for our suite of vibe coding tools. Literally just yesterday, 20 new Pro subscribers signed up, and now we're coming close to 3,000 users overall, and the MRR is just boom, boom, boom. And the reason is this. I mean, I just shipped this update yesterday, okay? So this is BridgeSpace, BridgeMind Build the Future, okay? You guys see this? So what I can do is if I just do Command T real quick, I can create a new workspace. And let's literally, I don't like that theme. Let's use the BridgeMind theme, okay? It's a nice dark theme. It looks good. So you can choose between either creating a BridgeSpace, which is the classic workflow that we've all become accustomed to, where you launch a bunch of agents at the same time and manage them in grid layouts, or you can launch what I now call a BridgeSwarm, okay? And I want to demo this for you guys while everybody's here. And literally, you guys can get this for just $10 a month if you use BridgeMind 50 off at checkout. Go to bridgemind.ai. But look at this. I can literally just drop in, let's just drop in UI consistency, okay? So I'm gonna say the swarm name is gonna be UI consistency, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to BridgeMind, or hold on, I have to CD to my desktop first. You can also, you don't have to use this little terminal, but it's just kind of nice as a developer. I want to be able to just CD quickly into stuff. CD BridgeMind UI, okay? So now I'm gonna use Bridge Voice, which is the voice to text tool that comes with your subscription. I want you to do an in-depth analysis of every single page on the BridgeMind UI website and make sure that every single page is consistent with the theme, formatting, and styling of the BridgeMind UI. It needs to be very, very consistent. Need light theme on what? There are light themes. So if you want to do light theme, here are the light themes. I don't want to blind you guys, but yeah, here are the light themes. GitHub Light, Rose Dawn. But yeah, I'll switch back to OLED Dark is pretty cool too. We'll do that one. But let's go back over to the workspace, and now I just go to agent roster, okay? And this is a really cool part about BridgeSwarms is you can set up the agent roster, and you can literally say like, okay, it's updating. Literally, do you guys see that right there? This is the only issue when you're developing locally. Things are gonna restart, so I just got restarted. So let's let this finish, and then we need to ship this. We'll test it. We'll test this out, but this is really important. The agent roster, literally you can launch these. It's insane, but this agent is literally updating that right now. So let's let that finish. Blinded right now? What do you mean? What model does Bridge Voice use? It uses Whisper. But also, guys, we're at 93 likes. We have 335 people watching. If you guys have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Help support the mission. You know, I show up every day and stream and give it everything that I have. And one way that you guys can basically help support the mission is you literally just click like. It helps with the algorithm. You know, I think that for everybody that's in the BridgeMind community, when you guys show up to the streams, literally just like. And, you know, if you guys engage in the chat, literally just ask questions, whatever you guys want, you know, and I do my best, but that helps support the mission. So thank you guys. Yeah, it uses Whisper, Need Light Theme, Demon. Yeah, this is ShadCN. No, this is not ShadCN because this is a Rust project, okay? And, like, I'll even say one just brief thing. This is one benefit of being a vibe coder, and I want to use a terrible example, but it was just one. It's actually not a terrible example. It just is one that makes me feel a little bit sad, and I'm going to tell it to you guys now. So there's a guy that's like streaming, right? And I don't know if anybody else is familiar with him, but right now it's another streamer, okay? And this guy is like vibe coding because he wants to become a web developer, right? And he's been vibe coding, and basically his goal is, okay, I want to become a web developer, so I'm going to be, programming every day, doing web development so that I can get a job, right? Are we using GPT 5.4? Yes, we're using GPT 5.4 extra high fast. Just to note, this is an incredibly fast and capable model. I've been using it yesterday as well as today. I probably used it for over 10 hours now. It's very good. We are using it right now. But back to my story. This guy is streaming. Props to him for streaming. Shout out to him. I forget what his channel's even called, but I don't want to draw like a bunch of attention to it just because I just want to give a little bit of my perspective on it, okay? He's been vibe coding, or no, he's not been vibe coding. And that's actually the issue, okay? If you're not vibe coding, you are going to get left behind, okay? Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, if you are using agentic coding and you are using these methods to program, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. But there are going to be things that come where it won't make any sense to write any code manually. I've been watching this guy, and he's been coding manually, and he's looking to get a software job. And I'm like, dude, you are not going to be competing with a vibe coder. Like, people that are vibe coding can just absolutely crush somebody that is just only coding line by line. In terms of, like, if they do have the experience, you can't not know what you're doing. But I will say that, yeah, I just kind of feel bad because I'm like, dude, you don't need to learn how to write syntax anymore. You need to learn how to, like, manage a bunch of agents, and you need to understand the core concepts, and you need to be able to, like, build really, really quickly and be able to understand agent orchestration, okay? Like, those are literally the skills of the future. Hold on, I need BridgeMind UI. Drop that in. Okay, so I'm going to pull up Bridge Voice. Again, all of this is all under one subscription. Okay, we're going to do this. It's this one here. And we're now going to do the agent roster. So now that this isn't updating, this is what we're talking about. But yeah, so yeah, Christian codes. Yeah, it's like, yeah, shout out to him, because it's like, I just feel bad because I'm like, dude, you got to vibe code. Like, you got to start vibe coding. Like, that's what people are going to want in the future. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, when BridgeMind goes to hire people, which we will, as soon as we get funding, we are going to hire a team. We're going to bring a team on, and I am not interested in hiring people that don't vibe code for everything that they do, okay? Do you only use extra high with 5.4? Yes, I'm using extra high, but like, I can launch a team right here of all Codex agents, right? So this is going to launch a team. Let's just do a squad, okay? And 5 Codex, there's going to be a coordinator, 2 builders, a scout, and a reviewer, and I'm now going to launch the swarm, and here's our swarm, okay? And you guys can see here that there's an operator console over on the right. This is how you're able to communicate. Also, it does look like Super Combo that it did kind of change that Gemini 3.1 agent did. Oh my gosh, that's the issue that we're having, chat, because there's updates being made, which is so annoying. It's this one here. BridgeSpace, API URL. Okay, that's fine. It's just annoying. Okay. It's just refreshing what we're doing. So, don't really agree. If you don't know how to code properly, you won't be getting a good job. We tried at multiple companies and ultimately saw manual coding was better in quality and time before prod. Yeah, so that may be the current landscape of what but I'm just saying, this is like, give it another 6 months, let's say, right? Like, this is up and coming. And yes, like, maybe in a corporate, no, honestly, I don't think so. I literally just don't think so at all. Like, I just don't even see how. Yeah, so Mariana said our experience at least. Yeah, so that's your experience. Like, what I'm seeing is that, like, anybody that's writing code manually is probably going to get phased out, like, period. Like, you just need to be vibe coding, and you need to get really good at this skill, because you can build so fast, and as the models get better, you can build even faster, more intelligently. The models are going to be smarter than humans. The model is going to be able to code better than the best Then literally the best developers. The rotating spawning badge is unique. Yeah, let's remove that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Also, here's the Windows update loop. So it says that it did find that issue. I don't like how when the swarm is launching that there's a rotating spawning badge. Would you remove that? I don't like that. So let's remove that. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Christian. Or wait, hold on. Shout out to who said that? Zepiox. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. I vibe code 16 hours a day, and I'm doing about 20K per month. Love this channel. X to J, let's go, man. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to you. Good for you, man. That's 20K is legit. So yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, is it's like you're just gonna have people that are highly capable of using AI agents to be able to do everything that, like, and I was talking to some people in the co-working channel, and we were kind of talking about this concept of like, yeah, like, you're not just gonna be a vibe coder. Like, as soon as they hook up MCPs where you're capable of doing more, right? Let's say that. Wait, hold on. What is this doing here? Whoa, 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 whoa. The API test. Hold on, chat. I don't like that. Okay, this needs to chill a little bit. This is doing a little bit too much at this point. It finished our BridgeSpace login, but now it's trying to update even more. Like, chill. All right, I can share stats if you want. We have a huge SaaS company with so many products that we made that experiment at scale, and we could see many issues of vibe coding compared to non-vibe coding. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you can just watch, like, me personally, like, I'm just saying, like, I remember, I just, like, for me personally, when BridgeMind goes to hire people, we will not be hiring people that are writing code line by line, period. We, like... And so I don't know, like, it may just be like some companies are a little bit more behind, or it doesn't work for some companies, or like there's things that people are seeing, but like, hey, at the end of the day, if you have a really good vibe coder, right? If you have somebody that really understands agent orchestration and really understands like the overarching concepts and knows how to build, and they know how to use AI to do their work, like, that's the thing, is it's like you're saying that, oh, like, it's worse to have people that are using agentic coding, but the thing is, it's like maybe the reason that you're having bad results is because literally the people at your company aren't good at the skill. Like, I'm just saying, like, it is literally a skill. And yeah, if you don't have people that are good at vibe coding, you may not be having like good results because they don't understand like context management. They don't understand like all these important concepts. But yeah, I mean, I think that like, yeah, like in 5 years, nobody's going to be coding manually. It'll all be written by AI. In like even less than that, probably. The CTO needs to be the Mumbleflow guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm just feeling like a lot more confident and a lot better about BridgeMind as a whole as I start to see things evolve. I think that in 3 months, I mean, these are the goals. If you guys have not been tracking with this, the goals for the next 90 days is we're going to reach $10,000 a month MRR, and that's for BridgeMind specifically. So BridgeMind has opportunities to make revenue and drive revenue in a whole bunch of different categories, not just from subscriptions, but per the subscriptions. That is the main focus that I have in order to be able to get the subscription count up so that we can then do a funding round, okay? So we're going to do this. These are the goals. $10,000 a month MRR, 100,000 subscribers, 10,000 members in the Discord, 30,000 followers on X, 2,000 followers on Twitch, or 2,500 followers on Twitch. This is what is needed for us to basically get to the next buoy where we're able to raise money. Slow Panda said vibe coding equals after selection and joining the job. Unemployed equals know your own stuff. Project better than anyone else, other humans. I don't know. I don't know. Like, if I'm hiring somebody, I'm not looking for somebody that's gonna like be able to do leak code. Like, dude, like, just I'll give you a project, and if you can build it in a day, then I know that you're a good vibe coder. You know what I mean? Like, I think that vibe coders, especially in startup environments, like maybe if you have like a huge SaaS company that's already generating significant revenue, maybe it doesn't make sense, right? But if you have a company that's in like the startup phase, you need vibe coders. Alex said, imagine being a mathematician, the invention of the calculator coming out and not using a calculator. 100%, dude. So let me ask this Asian a question. So did you update the API in any way? Why would you update the API? I don't understand this. Yeah, I don't understand why I updated the API. It looks like it updated some testing files. I just don't know why it even went in there because I didn't want it to. Also, the Windows updates are going in. So we'll let these finish, and then we will ship this build. This will be build 1.0.42, and we'll ship this after these two agents are done running. It'll take about 30 minutes to build, and then we'll ship it. Will it be more skillful, more useful skill to catch bad architecture from AI? Yeah, so here's the caveat, is that, like, yes, bad architecture is definitely important. Like, you need to be aware of what you're building. You need to understand what's going on. The big thing though is that with AI, even if you make some mistakes along the way and you have tech debt, right? Because a lot of people, they'll say, I bet this project's full of tech debt, right? Well, the thing is if I, like, tech debt, yes, it's a thing. It's always been a thing. And with AI, like, yeah, you're going to get some tech debt, but you can then use AI to be able to solve the tech debt. So, like, there's a lot of things where it's like, yeah, like, just wait till Opus 5 comes out and tell me what you think. Like, Opus 5, in my opinion, I think that, like, I've been watching a lot of interviews, and the way that these CEOs are talking, they're talking like they know that something is coming that we don't. Like, that's what I realized. If you guys watch any, hold on. How should I complete the remaining Windows upgrade smoke test? Add a Windows CI smoke test. Wait, what is this? How should I complete the remaining Windows upgrade smoke test? I'll run the updated build on a Windows machine and send you the results. Okay, we'll do this. So, yeah, I mean, like, coding using AI is the future product management, 100%. Yeah. Wait, what did Messian ask? How would you prep for a job interview using vibe-coded projects? That's a good question. Here's the problem, is that sometimes when you sit in a job interview, right, you may not know what that company is looking for. Like, I bet there's some companies that are looking for people that are like, I mean, I think it's goofy for people that are like coding line by line and won't use AI. That makes no sense to me. But yeah, there's probably people that are like, you know, hey, we're sitting in a leak code interview and I don't want you to use AI, which is just like so weird. Like, honestly, if you're in a job interview that's doing that, literally just don't even apply for that job. Like, that is so goofy. You should be like, you should be able to use the tools at your disposal. That's just so weird. All right, let's drop in BridgeSpace Tari. Like, if I had an interview, right? If you were interviewing for BridgeMind, right? And it would not be a leak code interview. I can promise you that. I want you to now run the build and then version it up to 1.0.42 and get ready to stage and commit all changes to GitHub with a PR label so that it kicks off the workflow and ships to production. So it's like, okay, let me ask, if I was interviewing for the job you were talking about when BridgeMind gets funded, what are you going to be looking for? Yeah, I'm going to be looking for people that actually understand agentic workflows. Like, and I do think that you need to have you need to have the underlying understanding of like the big picture of things while you're doing them, right? Like, I think that AI makes it so that, like, let's say that there's like 3 levels, right? Like let's say that there's level 1 is like syntax. So syntax, like literally like syntax writing code, right? Like, this is level 1, like writing code. But there's other layers to this where like you go down a level and it's like, is your code, like, is it actually following like best principles, like best practices for it to actually be scalable and for it to be able to actually be a manageable product that's built not like in this like spaghetti code way, but in a way where it's manageable, right? And like, that would just be like, I would literally just say like, I would literally just call this like core fundamentals. Like, maybe there's like literally only 2 steps to this. Like, I just think that like syntax and writing code is completely out of the picture now. I think it's completely out of the picture. I don't write any code. I literally, when was the last time you guys saw me write 1 line of code, right? It's all about the core fundamentals of software development and then being able to orchestrate from there agents to be able to do this for you and to be able to like understand, like, yeah, I mean, like, how many agents are you able to run? You know what I mean? Only the all currently modified. Yes, this one here. Build, bump to, and then create a second scope. Build, bump, create a second scope, open a PR, and create a second scope. Build. That's good. Okay, so let's ship this. But yeah, for real, I have no idea how to code, but I can build. Yeah, I mean, you just don't need to know, you don't need to write code or do anything syntax related anymore. You just need to understand the core fundamentals, and you need to be able to launch agents to be able to then write the syntax for you. Like, you know, it's like, you know, and I've been in the space for over 3 years now. And it's like, yeah, like, this is the way that things are headed. Also, guys, we've got 364 people watching. If you guys have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. At 300 likes, I am going to be doing a cold plunge. There's 365 people watching. Let's do a quick sub check to see where we're at and set a quick sub goal for the day. Let me do one thing real quick. But yeah, I mean, like, this is definitely headed in the right direction. So if you guys are just joining us, you don't know what I'm working on. So right now we're working on BridgeSpace, which is an ADE. It's an agentic development environment. and we're shipping an update right now that's going to be a little bit more stable on Windows. Right now we are at 51,587 subscribers. Let's get to 51,600. But this is going to be able to build this and deploy this. Let's go over to GitHub and just make sure that this does kick off that build. Terminal lines for install need to be updated in BridgeMind docs 404s. Okay. I think the biggest thing for companies is how well the applicant can work with legacy code. That's a good point, yeah. All right, let's go to, BridgeSpace Tari. Okay, this is not yet deployed. It will deploy, though. No, you need a good business model, and the code is assisting to that. The code has always been secondary to business requirements. That's a good point. All right, guys, this is building. I do want to do one thing. I want to add BridgeMind docs. So somebody says that apparently in the BridgeMind docs that things are... Note that Bridge Code has not yet launched, so in the docs you need to reaffirm this so that people know that this is a product that is coming and has not yet launched. Also, some people are reporting 404s for the terminal lines. So terminal lines for installs need to be updated. Right now they're returning 404s. Wait, but the Bridge Code isn't even updated, so I think that is what you're saying. Because, yeah, Bridge Code does not exist yet. That's going to be like something that is coming, but it has not yet been deployed. So let's see here. Chat just got back, and can we get some more likes on the vid? Let's go, Tessie. Thank you, man. You deploy with GitHub Actions. Yeah, I do deploy with GitHub Actions. They're a little bit slow at times. Also, they're expensive, especially with builds like this. Like, I'll be kicking off these builds, and I can even tell you guys, like, right now, how much have I spent on GitHub Action workflows this month. Let me go to billing, overview. Actually, not that much this month, but it's only been 6 days, so... Let's check last month, though. Hold on. Last month, I know I spent a check on this last month. Oh, my gosh. Wait, how can I go to last month? I think I spent, like, at least $200 on GitHub Actions last month. Let me see. Current month, last month. Let's see. Oh, my gosh. Actually, that's not even that bad. No, not. Oh, whoa. Okay, less than $150. Okay, less than $150. But on GitHub Actions, I did spend $150. One issue is investors want an MVP. If your product is bloated, it might turn them away. Yeah, 100%. Like, feature creep is real. The great part about BridgeSpace is we do not have feature creep. And, you know, I've been around building for long enough to know that, like, yeah, I particularly, like, as a vibe coder, I am not interested in building a bunch of goofy features for BridgeSpace. Keep it simple. BridgeSwarm, BridgeSpace, that's all you need. People will be able to build with that. It'll be able to scale. This is a great product. But one thing I do want to do, guys, we're up to 150 likes. Let's drop a 50 bomb real quick. Actually, you know what? What do we do? I feel like we do more than a 50 bomb. I mean, a 50 bomb's like, I feel like we do at least a 60 bomb. Let's drop a 60 bomb real quick, chat. Let's go. If you guys haven't already done pushes with me, let's get it going. You guys know how it is. Let's go. I'm about to drop a 60 bomb. 60 bomb here. Let's go. All right, let's go, chat. 60 bomb. All right, let's go. How do actions cost money? I didn't realize it cost money. Is this bad? It only costs money over a certain threshold. Like, you get a certain amount that are included, and then, like, for example, these builds that I have for BridgeSpace will be taking 30 minutes to deploy. Oh my gosh, this is killing me. Can this just commit? Oh my gosh. All right. How's Big T doing, by the way, chat? You guys see him? Big T. He literally took a huge dump on my neighbor's lawn. I just ran off. I ran. I put the vibe goggles on. I was like, dude. I was like, Tidy. I was like, Big T, let's get out of here, man. Ran off. All right. Let's go, Fly. Fly City to 45. Let's go. Everything's AWS. I use AWS infrastructure for everything. All right, let's see if this kicked off. Okay, what is up with this? Oh my gosh. This has been an issue with Cursor lately, guys. It's just crashing. Literally just straight up crashing. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna crash. Your deployment did not kick off the GitHub action workflow to build it and deploy it. Why is this? Make sure you commit it with the GitHub label, with the version, so that it actually commits it. And you can push this to main. Wait, is it main? Oh, this is so annoying. Is it, hold on, chat. All right, so I go to this here. I think I have to put a label on it. All right, let's use Opus 4.6 for this. It's confusing it. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes 5.4. I mean, like, hey, when you look at the GPT models on the BS bench, out of memory, no. What would be the structure of MD files and workflows along of a long-term project if something needs to be changed down the road? I mean, you can use AI for that. Like, you can literally use AI for everything. Like, honestly, I think that the answer to most of those questions are just use AI for it. Like, I can have AI write a bunch of documentation for me. Let's see here. How often do I commit the code? Pretty often. Can I explain how GitHub Actions work, please? So basically, like, you can do use GitHub Actions for a lot. If I actually show you guys the code here, so let's actually collapse this. So basically, to create a GitHub action, literally all you need to do, obviously you need to have your repo connected to GitHub, but I'll even show you the one for this one, so you guys can see that I have a .github folder, and inside of this, there's a workflows folder, and then inside of this, there's a YAML file, okay? So you can see this, and this literally has what's needed to be able to, like, kick off particular actions. So for example, I have workflows that will do particular things, right? So this one is kicking off this workflow, and you guys are gonna see it here in a second. And I'm telling you, literally, GPT has a problem doing this, and Opus will solve it every time. And that's why I think it's best to not just be like, oh, Opus is better, nothing can beat Opus. Like, literally, there are different use cases for different tasks. Super said, Swarm Agents is a sick idea, not gonna lie. It's not just a sick idea, but it actually works, like, in practice. So now that this is done, I can finally show you guys a demo. So if you guys are curious as to what we're building at BridgeMind, what we're shipping, we are shipping a suite of vibe coding tools where under one subscription, you have access to everything that you need to be a successful vibe coder. I've been vibe coding and doing agentic engineering for over 3 years, and I am very familiar with the space, and I understand what's needed for vibe coders and agentic engineers. And the main thing that's needed for these types of engineers are an ADE, a voice-to-text tool, and a CLI tool. So what you're looking at right here, this is Bridge Voice. So this is our voice-to-text tool. And I've spoken, let's see, I've spoken 39,000 words into Bridge Voice. And what you guys can see here is you can literally just do Command T, and you have the option to be able to create a swarm or a bridge space, okay? A bridge space is a workspace, which is basically a customizable grid layout with AI agents. So let's just do that as an example. So for example, I can launch 12 agents right now, and I'll just quickly CD into the directory that I want them in. So I'm going to CD into, let's CD into the BridgeMind directory. And we're going to launch 12 agents. We're going to launch 6 Claude agents, and we're going to launch 6 Codex agents, okay? And check this out. So literally, boom, all of a sudden, boom, agents at scale right in front of you to be able to do what you need to do, because the best engineers, the best vibe coders, are the ones that are able to manage multiple agents at the same time. And this is an incredible way to do this. The other thing that BridgeSpace now has to offer is BridgeSwarm. So this is where you're able to launch parallel multi-agent workflows, which are swarms. So literally I can just create a swarm. Let's just do test swarm. And I can CD into a particular project. Let's CD into desktop. Let's CD into BridgeMind. And let's CD into BridgeMind API. And then let's use Bridge Voice. I need you to do an in-depth review of the project and identify any security vulnerabilities and fix them. Yeah, BridgeSpace will for sure be a banger, yep. So I'm going to launch this, and here's my agent roster. So literally, I'm going to launch a roster with Codex agents, and we're going to launch a swarm of 10 Codex agents, okay? So we're going to launch this swarm. In this swarm, there's one coordinator. Actually, there are two coordinators. There's 5 builders, 2 scouts, and 1 reviewer. So I'm going to launch this swarm, and here's what we're looking at. So I just launched a BridgeSwarm, and here's what we're looking at. You can see I have an operator console here. These are now all running, and they're kicking off. And what you're guys are going to see here in a second is that there's an operator console where I can choose to either message all of the agents or particular agents. And at any point in time, I can access the agents and see what they're doing inside their terminals. Here they all are working. And look at this, chat. So literally it's launching all of these terminals just like it normally would. But the thing is that people need an easy way to be able to interface with these agents. You know, I get all the time people say, I like your workflow, but it's just too much for me. I can't manage more than, 5 agents at once. And this is the reason that I've created BridgeSwarm. It basically allows you to have a user interface for managing swarms of AI agents. And you can see that there are now some messages coming through. So the coordinator just messaged the operator with some information. And it just messaged, it just said it's done. It's now done that. The builder 2 just messaged coordinator 1. Builder 6 just messaged coordinator 1. It said builder 6 reporting ready. No task assignment received yet. I'll start reviewing file upload security. So it knows what it's working on. It messaged the coordinator for this, and the coordinator is interacting with all of these agents. So this is BridgeSwarm. If you guys are interested in this, literally all you need to do is go to BridgeMind.ai. Go to BridgeMind.ai. This is very stable on macOS. Windows, there's going to be a couple bugs, but we are deploying. We should have some fixes here soon for those Windows bugs. But you can literally get this with 50% off your first 3 months. Use BridgeMind 50 off. You guys can check out the pricing. Literally for $20 a month, you get access to all of these tools. So, what we're doing is we're literally building out BridgeSpace, using BridgeSpace, and using BridgeSwarm. This is a phenomenal vibe coding tool. All right, W. Dan said, hey, big progress I see. Are you taking advantage of hooks for handoffs, notifications, cross-swarm? So, W. Dan, really good point here. So, W. Dan in the chat, he's a super respected member of the community. I think he's been around since he's been very around here since very early on. And what he's talking about is he's talking about Claude hooks. Now, this is one thing that when I was building this system, I did think about, okay, should you have Claude hooks or should you build around a different strategy? Because not only do I want this to work with Claude, but I also want this to work with Codex, Gemini, and Claude, and the cursor. I want it to use it with open code. And in order to do that, you're going to have to build a universal system for the agents to be able to communicate with one another in these swarms. And that's what I've done here. So, you guys are seeing something. All right, how about Linux? Linux, sorry guys. So my plan is right now, the macOS is very stable. So I develop it on macOS, so it's very easy for me to use it with macOS. But in terms of Windows update, Windows will be stable probably by the end of the weekend. You can still use it, but I do think that there are some issues with Windows. But don't let that stop you from buying it, guys. But if you guys want to support, if you guys want to be a part of this mission, just by buying it, being able to be an early beta adopter, this is going to be a huge thing. If we go back over the workspace here, this is another thing that we're trying to fix. Is this state management here is such an issue that we need to solve, but we're going to solve it. But let's see here. I do want to see what is still causing this. So you guys see how these are all blank, right? These weren't all blank a second ago, right? These technically do have Claude in them. Do you guys see that? So that's a big issue here, is that the terminal states don't remain open. What link did WDan drop in? He dropped in a link. Is very good at this kind of hooks. OpenAI Symphony leverages the notify element in Codex, I think. GitHub Symphony. Interesting. Okay, Symphony. What's this Symphony? Let's check it out. Let's pull this up. But before we do that, let's drop this in real quick and see if we can have an agent start working on this. Let's go over to this here. Let's go to capture history and let's just drop this in. And I'm gonna have Opus take a look at this, Opus Max inside a cursor, and I'm just gonna see if Opus Max can figure this out. So BridgeSpace Tari, I need you to do an in-depth review of this. Note that sometimes when I'm clicking off and away from different workspaces and swarms, sometimes the terminals will just like clean their state. Do you see how all of these are blank? I had launched Claude agents in these and they were not blank. Would you do an in-depth review and identify what is causing this? Okay, W, let me pull this up. And then Kerr said it used the actual terminal window with hooks. He just went over that. Yeah, like, so, you know, you're using hooks. You're using basically like a universal system to be able to interface with these agents. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to sign up, we've got a bunch of new users today. We're also up to 51,597 subscribers, so getting up there. Appreciate you guys for subbing. Let's go over here. This is important though. Here, is this using? Okay, this is the issues. It's using Composer 1.5. Oh my gosh, it's killing me when it does that. Okay, so let's check this out that WDan dropped in. So Symfony. Let's check this out. So this is what WDN just dropped in, Symfony. So this is, Symfony turns project work into isolated autonomous implementation runs, allowing teams to manage work instead of supervising coding agents. This looks interesting, Symfony. Symfony turns project work into, oh, interesting. Cool, yeah, so that's like, that's basically like the Kanban approach. That's interesting. That's cool. That's cool. So this is OpenAI's solution to like basically allowing for this, like for Kanban boards and stuff. That's cool. Okay, let's see this here. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I do love what I do. It brings me a lot of energy, some days more than others. But one thing that I do know for sure is like, I'm just, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Server error. What's the server error? For what? All right, WDan said mostly written in a lecture, which is cool. That is cool. Yeah, let's go. Appreciate it, Kerr. But, okay, let's go over here. We do have a couple more updates that I want to make. All right, this is good. This looks good. All right, let's check up on our GitHub action to see if this is deploying properly. Okay, so it does look like the latest macOS, that build did compile. The Windows build takes the longest. That one will probably take, I don't know, maybe like about like 20 more minutes or something like that. Probably 20 minutes. What are the best vibe coding tools after BridgeMind? Do you recommend Klein or Warp or any others? Well, at this point, for like any ADE, I think that BridgeSpace is probably going to be one of the best ADEs on the market. You know, I think that we're going to be able to move like super fast on new features, super fast on being able to build stuff that people actually need. And I think that like stuff like Swarms is going to be able to come onto the market and really take some market share. So I would definitely recommend BridgeSpace. I used Warp for a while, but I've since deleted it because it's like at this point, you know, it literally like, it is better. Check this out though, chat. So we've got, this is a tweet that I made. Right now it's got 21,000 views, but check this out, guys. So 21,000 views. I said, introducing the next era of software development. Meet BridgeSwarm. One prompt, dozens of agents, builders, scouts, reviewers, and coordinators working together in parallel. They message each other. They hand off tasks. They coordinate autonomously. Now available in BridgeSpace. So look at this. Hold on, I just want to play this. All right. Also, why did this change here? Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, but watch this, guys. This is awesome. I had the vibe goggles on. This is sick. So this is a little marketing that I was doing. That was my marketing. All right. So this is still building. It's probably going to be building for about like another 20 minutes or so. Never unmount based on visibility. Okay. Create a structured plan for implementing these fixes. The GIF sends it over the edge. Wait, what GIF? What GIF? How much do I spend on Cursor? Yeah, I have the Cursor Ultra plan. They did help me out though with like credits and stuff, which is cool. So I've got like $5,000, $10,000 in Cursor credits, which is nice. But I'm not like sponsored by them in like an official way. But yeah, I mean, I like Cursor. I like the IDE for sure. So here's the issue. Here's the plan that it gave us. All right, this is the plan. Let's see here. Without this, okay, so we'll be able to build this out. All right. Let's see. Oh, the video, I thought it was a GIF. Oh. All right, so this is still building. So Linux is built. I don't know if anybody has Linux, but if they want to download this on Linux and give it a try, it's probably going to be buggy. So just send me the bugs. I'm literally going to have to get a Linux, probably get a Linux machine. You should make another 10 things I've learned video. I like those. Yeah, I could make one. Yeah, I think I did one at the end of the year. Yeah, I definitely did one at the end of the year that I liked doing. Let's go. Yeah, that one got 21,000 views. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so this is... Wait, why did it switch to GPT 5.4 extra fast? I didn't want to do that. Alright, chat. Let's go here. So yeah, this state management is definitely an issue. Test swarm, let's go check up on our test swarm. So this test swarm did complete. And you can literally see here that there were 44 messages that were basically exchanged here. And what I want to do is I'm going to make a screenshot of this, and I am going to make a quick X post about this. Because, like, hey, at the end of the day, like, this is the marketing that you guys are now seeing, is that, you know, if you guys have been around since the early days of BridgeMind, like, yeah, like, the X has, you know, 22,000 followers, you know? Like, it's a pretty substantial, you know, marketing platform that we've built on the X. It's like, okay, let me look at this. So this one got 1.2K, this one got 1.5, this one got 5.2, this one got 1.4, this one got 2.1, 16, 15. This one, 21,000. I did put some promotion behind that one because it makes sense to. You know, it's like, hey, you're basically at this point, I can start to put some money behind advertising and stuff because, like, hey, yeah, like, it's working. You know, BridgeMind is working. We're getting subscriptions for BridgeMind. So now it's just all about scaling it up. I need you to make a post that has a viral hook and talks about the operator console and how all of the agents are able to work together as a swarm and message each other and coordinate with each other. What is dictation? What dictation or voice to text app am I using? So I'm using Bridge Voice. So yeah, I use Bridge Voice. This is included in the BridgeMind.ai subscription. You can go check it out at BridgeMind.ai and get 50% off. Error in BridgeSpace, auth error. Where though? In BridgeSpace? I think that, like, you'll have to send a screenshot. Send a screenshot in the Discord, if you're having issues so I can take a look at it. And, like, there could be things where I'm like, oh, I already fixed that one, or, you know, so send it to me so I can see what you're experiencing. Because if you just say auth error, it's hard for me to know, like, hey, you know, it could be all sorts of different reasons. So I just need to see, like, a screenshot or something. So just drop it in, like, general, and I'll take a look at it in Discord. All right, so I just made another post. So this is just the operator console. Yeah. Yeah, that's sick. I guess my network error. What days were spent building Bridge Voice? I want to watch that dev. I don't know. You'll have to look back. What was it? Maybe like 110? No, probably like 120. I want to say 120, maybe 130. 120 or 130. I'm not sure though. Okay, let's check up on this build. Let's see if the GitHub action workflow is done yet. Still building on Windows. This usually takes about like 23 minutes, I want to say. So we'll see here in a second. All right. Okay. Let's go over here. All right, BridgeMind feedback. Okay. All right. This is still working. Sorry, guys. I was looking at something off screen. Okay. The error here that that cursor is now implementing. So this is like one of the biggest errors that we definitely want to deal with. Yeah, it's probably 120-ish. Yeah, I got you. Is your server ready to handle the heavy demand surge? Yes, we have auto scaling set up. I'm a data engineer leaning into AI and doing more AI engineering stuff. Need to fix up my CI GitHub action skills. Yeah. New jailbreak for ChatGPT has been found. Yeah, let's go. Okay, let's see here. So this is the implemented the terminal state loss. So let's put this to the test though, because this is like one of the biggest errors. So watch this, guys. So I'm gonna launch a new BridgeSpace, right? And let's just launch one with literally like 16 sessions. All right, we're gonna like overload this thing. Okay, so we're gonna launch 16 sessions, and we're just gonna do all 16 Claude agents, and then we're gonna launch a workspace. Okay, so 16 Claude agents coming in. I put it in the wrong folder, but that's fine. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, that's fine. All right, 16 Claude agents here. And what we're doing is we're testing this state management issue that we have, okay? So these are 16 Claude agents. Now, we're going to test to see if if I go over here now and I launch a swarm, and I'm just going to create a test swarm. Let's just CD over into BridgeMind real quick. And I'm going to CD into BridgeMind, and it needs to review the API and identify any errors or AI slop code. Xterm said, did you know you can assign your Mac as a runner for GitHub Actions and you won't have to spend any money? Just use the 2 Mac minis you have around. I mean, I'm happy with GitHub Actions as they are now. I feel like that's the best way to do it for me. Personally, it's a reliable way. I'm not necessarily concerned about the cost with $150. Like, at the end of the day, BridgeMind is a business, and I'm just going to choose to do like some of the best ways to do things. Let's launch 5 agents. Let's launch this swarm. Here's our swarm. And now the issue that I was having is clicking between, like, you guys are going to see as this swarm starts up. This is how a swarm starts up. So you can see that there are now 2 running. These are all coming in. And you guys are going to see what happens as these work. We definitely have room for improvement to make it so that, like, the messages, like, for example, see how it truncates here? Like, it would be nice to be able to click on the messages and be able to, like, open them up in a modal. Does that make sense? I think, can I build that with Gemini 3.1 Pro or something like that? Let's see. Let's open this up. Let's open up Cursor. Let's open up Gemini 3.1 Pro, because that's going to be the best model at styling. Gemini 3.1 Pro right here. I need you to do an in-depth review of this BridgeSwarm page, and what I want you to do is, WDan said, I think I spent $800 yesterday. Funding is a superpower. 100%. Like, when you do have a business that's like scaling and you do have the funds to be able to allocate towards investment, like, it literally just makes sense to spend the money. So I need you to do an in-depth review of this BridgeSwarm page, and what I want you to do is evaluate how right now the messages are truncated. That's a good thing that the messages are truncated, but I need to make it so that I can actually click on those and it opens up a modal so that I can see the full message. Add this functionality to the BridgeSpace page. Also, would you improve the styling of that operator console so that it's more modern, and the styling can definitely be improved. It should still stay on. It should still stay. Oh, frozen screen apparently. Hold on, chat. Oh, you guys have a frozen screen. Hold on here, chat. All right, sorry, chat. How long has it been frozen for? All right, hold on. I hope this doesn't crash the stream, guys. I hope this doesn't crash the stream. Okay, there we go. We're back. All right, thank you guys. Sorry about that. All right, the screen is frozen. Okay, so I'm prompting here. So what I want to fix, just to show you guys, because you guys missed that, is do you guys see how these messages are truncating? You guys see this truncated message? You guys see this? So what we're going to do is we're going to fix this so I can click on these, and then also this can be substantially improved. Like, this is just a default drop down. Definitely room for improvement here. So let's open this up in Cursor, and let's do this. Should stay on theme and on brand, but it can be improved for sure. Okay. 16 swarms, yeah. Yeah, I think the swarms are what froze it. I don't know. I mean, you are going to be talking about, like, hey, like, let's still go to terminals, right? Here's all this, but now when I go back, there we go. The state actually remains. So it looks like Opus was able to fix that issue that we had. If you guys remember, like, a big issue is, hey, the state management of the terminals, and it looks like we've now fixed that. Let's keep testing it. It looks good. It looks like, okay, let's go, chat. Okay, so Claude did fix that for us. So like, you know, like I showed you guys before, if we just go back to the screenshot to reference what that bug was and what fixed, this is what was happening. And this has been a problem, and it looks like Claude Opus 4.6 Max did fix it. So this was happening where I would go to the BridgeSwarm terminal page, and I would come back, and it would have this issue where it would clear all the state, which is a huge problem, right? So it looks like we fixed that now. And this looks good because it did keep the state. Now, there are other areas where, like, when I switch, you see how when I switch, so I switch a terminal and it clears the state? That's another problem, right? Like, so there's some state issues with these terminals. So let's go back over to this one here for terminal state clearing. And what's nice, again, shout out to WDan. This is just like one quick tip for you guys for like context management is always like by using something like CleanShot X, you can literally like highlight what you want the AI to be able to like really hone in on, right? So sometimes I'll be using that and I'll draw like a red thing around like, hey, you need to focus in on this, right? And it's actually smart to do that. Can I drop this in, please? Oh, man. All right, hold up. CleanShot X here. Let's close this window for CleanShot X here. Close, and then there we go. I need you to do an in-depth review of the images. I believe that your updates did fix our issue that we were having, but now we have another issue with terminal states, which is when I swap terminals, it is clearing the state. As you can see from the 4 in the center there that I've highlighted in red, they're clear, and they cleared because I swapped terminals. I dragged and dropped and swapped them, and that cleared the terminal state. Would you review and figure out why that's happening on swap? How often are you pushing updates? Are they getting pushed after every stream? I'm pushing them during streams. So, like, literally just a couple minutes ago, I did push updates, and they're building right now. Speaking of which, let's actually check up on that. So it looks like the Windows build is still going out. Let's go to this Windows build. But literally, this is... Okay, perfect. So check this out, guys. So literally, this is in the last part of the Windows deployment. So this is about to ship here, and you guys are going to have access to the latest updates that I have made. This is version 1.0.42 that's going live. Something else I do need to do is in BridgeSpace, there's actually a unique issue that I have. You guys will hear my prompt here. So let's go over to, and I'm going to use Opus 4.6 Max. I need you to do an in-depth review as it relates to the functionality associated with auto updates. When the user actually launches the application, or if they're on the welcome screen, like not the welcome screen, because that's a literal thing, on the login screen, for example, when they still have not actually signed into BridgeSpace, I still need there to be a check to see if there are any updates, and for the modal to pop up if there are updates. Review the existing functionality for this and ensure that users don't have to manually sign in and then go to the settings page and click check for updates. There should be an auto updater that is able to recognize if there is an update, and it should happen on this page, literally on any page of the application, but including particularly that sign-in page, because right now an issue that I have is that users can only update by going into settings, and it doesn't pop up that update modal, and that's become a problem because if they can't log in, like if there's some bug that's preventing them from logging in, they can't get to the settings page, then there's no way for them to update this. So I need you to integrate this auto updater where it will pop up a modal for me to restart and install the latest update for BridgeSpace, review the functionality in complete depth, and create a structured plan for how we could implement this functionality. Okay, so I basically just streamlined my conscious, and I am using Bridge Voice for voice to text. So if you guys are interested in using a voice to text tool and using the ADE that I use, just buy the BridgeMind.ai Pro subscription. Go to BridgeMind.ai to check it out. How many lines of code are in your project? Can you ask an agent to count? Probably can't ask an agent to count. I mean, I could, but the thing is there's a lot of code in here. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, probably it's a couple million lines, though, for sure. Hey, man, how are you doing? What's up, Kuhn? How's it going? Cohen, how's it going? All right, let's go here. All right, so it said that it found the root cause. Great work. I now want you to create a structured plan for the updates so that this gets fixed. So I'm going to, again, use plan mode here. And I will say, when you put it in plan mode first, it does do a better job. Basically, you're abstracting it. Instant transcription is crazy. Yeah, a lot of instant transcription. And this is the one thing is like, you know, I put up on the board here, right, make progress every day. And the reason I have that up there is because, like, hey, if you guys just lock in and you focus on making progress every day, what you're going to realize is that you end up making a decent amount of progress. And, you know, I think that over time, you know, over, let's say, a large portion of time, you know, you look back and you're like, wow, like, what even happened, right? Like, what even happened? You know, I think that, like, if you look back to when I started vibe coding on day 1 and you look to now, it's like, who could have looked back and said, oh, you know, by the way, in 6 months, you're going to have, you know, you're going to build ViewCreator, you're going to build BridgeMind, you're going to build BridgeSpace, you're going to build BridgeVoice, you're going to build Goalpost, you're going to build all these different things that we've built. You're going to build a community. You're going to have 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like, you couldn't have told me that that was going to happen. I did believe in myself, and I did know that, hey, if I stick with this, I'm consistent, I can probably be successful with it. But that consistency and just the concept and the ideology that, hey, if I just make a little bit of progress every single day, I'm going to be able to get somewhere, that has brought me very, very far. And it's like, yeah, like, that is the mindset that I think everybody should have in this community, is just that, yeah, like, software development is difficult, and sometimes you can get lost in the weeds on a lot of things. And it's like, sometimes it can be definitely just like a very difficult job to have. You know, you're on the computer all day. And I'm not kidding. I was hanging out in the co-working channel in Discord yesterday, right? I want to show this to you guys. Check this out. So in our Discord channel, if you guys haven't joined, make sure you do so. There's a link in the chat. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Quick shout out to newly joined members. But look at this. Let's look at this. This co-working channel. I like to hang out there in the mornings. But last night, I was hanging out in there and just talking to some people that are pretty cool. And I was just enjoying hanging out. And the community that we've built, it just makes me happy. I'm like, dang, we built a community. It's crazy. Is BridgeMind a subscription of Claude Code tools, or is the AI provided as well? So literally, like, BridgeMind is your vibe coding suite that you need to be successful. We don't provide models ourselves. We are going to release Bridge Code, which will be a CLI that you're able to use, but that's not released yet. But right now, like, BridgeSpace is a phenomenal way to maximize the use of your Claude Code subscription. And we're about to ship. Is this update shipped yet? Let's check up on GitHub Actions workflow real quick. It's probably done. Yeah, it is done. Okay, so this is now released. So, guys, oh, man, this is the problem, though, is that now I can't actually get in. So, okay, guys, let's do one thing. So, this is how you download BridgeSpace. If you are interested in BridgeSpace, literally just go to bridgemind.ai, go to BridgeSpace, download on macOS, and we're going to re-download this because I do need to update to the latest versions. Let's drag this over. Replace. Hold on, I need to close this. Okay, hold up here, chat. All right, so BridgeSpace, drag and drop, replace. All right, and now let's launch this. So BridgeSpace, oops. BridgeSpace. Okay. Open. Wait, what version is this? Okay, perfect. So you guys see this is 1.0.42. So I just shipped this update. So let's open up this up real quick, and this should route me to the correct URL. Finally, there we go. All right, perfect. All right, so I got to the correct URL. So now just let me sign in, and boom, there we go. Let's go, chat. All right, so we did fix that issue that we had. So now this is the production build, and finally we don't have to use cursor anymore, because the reason you guys have been seeing me use cursor is because I had to fix that bug just so I could even get in, which is annoying. But check this out. So now let's just launch a quick workspace. Let's cd into desktop. Let's cd into BridgeMind, and let's just launch. I'm an 8 terminal type of guy. Let's launch 4 Codex instances so we can use GVD 5.4, and then let's launch 4 Claude Codes. And then, okay, interesting here. Okay, that's not good. Do you guys see the styling there? Let's close out of this. I don't like that. I definitely don't like that. All right, hold on, chat. All right, let's close this real quick, and let's launch BridgeSpace. So that's a bug with the terminal styling. Let's see if we get it again, though. So let's do Command T, BridgeSpace. Let's launch 8 sessions. 4 and then 4. Why do I need to reinstall? Again, please make the launch it. Check version, and on the change, it shows the update pop-up. Yeah, so exclusive, that's actually literally, like what you just asked for, that's a feature that's being built literally right now. Okay, this is an issue here. The terminal styling is messed up. All right. Okay, so check this out, chat. So this is an issue. So if we do 8 agents, and let's just do 8 Claude agents, right? And I do want to go back. I want to CD into BridgeMind before we do that. CD into BridgeMind or desktop, and then BridgeMind, desktop, CD BridgeMind. And then let's configure this. Let's launch 8 Claude agents. So check this out, guys. This is not good. We need to ship an update for this as soon as possible here. Yeah, do you guys see this? Now all of the Claudes, all of the terminals are having this improper styling. Let's get this fix shipped real quick for this. And this will be 1.0.43, and this will actually be the really good update, because that'll fix the error that you addressed exclusive. So let's drop this in. I need you to do an in-depth review of this screenshot. Note that the styling of the terminals, if you notice, is all wonky. Do you see how the Claude codes aren't styled correctly? It's almost like the terminal stylings is not correct. See how they're all white and they're styled incorrectly? Would you use Exa and help me figure out what is causing this? Use the Exa MCP and do an in-depth review of the code and help me figure out what is actually causing this. Don't update any code, but just do an in-depth diagnosis of why this is happening. So I need to figure out why this is happening. This is not good. I hate it when that happens. So let's use Opus, and let's just put it in plan mode here, and see if we can figure out what's causing this. Do you have a FinOps blade? How do I manage my model usage while using BridgeMind? What do you mean your model usage? You use it with your Claude Code subscription and your Codex subscription. Instead of building the applications on GitHub, why don't you set up a runner which builds on a local PC Mac, so it goes significantly faster? You have like 3 Mac Minis not being used. I mean, I like GitHub Actions. I like the pipeline that I have. I just like GitHub Actions. You know, I think that's the best practice for right now. Unique YT said, I'm building a tool for my company by vibe coding. Is BridgeMind useful for me? Sorry, man, I don't know much about it. Yeah, 100%. Like, if you guys are, if you're a vibe coder, and you guys want to be able to launch and manage agents, BridgeSpace, BridgeVoice, and ultimately BridgeCode and the Bridge MCP, this is a suite of products that's gonna significantly enhance you as a vibe coder. You know, it's like I said, it's like, hey, I wouldn't be building this stuff if I didn't believe in it, right? And I wouldn't be building this stuff if it didn't improve me significantly, like in terms of, you know, actually being able to build things. And that's why I've built it. So if you guys haven't already signed up, make sure you do so. Let me check this out just real briefly here. Okay. Okay. Spinning out multiple agents is more than I currently do. I don't want to run out of model credits mid-project. I mean, yeah, I think that like multiple agents is needed. Like if you want to be like super capable, like you just should be using multiple agents, like period. I think that if you're not using multiple agents because of a credits issue, I would recommend getting a better, definitely a better plan, to be honest. I don't think that, you know, running out of credits is a good thing. All right, let's check here. It looks like I have... Okay, I just found a little bit of an issue that I do want to fix here. Okay, nice. So once you get into BridgeMind, like this is what the onboarding looks like. So it says, welcome to BridgeMind. You're joining a platform where AI agents are teammates, not tools. Let's walk you through everything you get access to. So I've set this up. So you have the BridgeMind MCP, you have BridgeSpace, your agentic development environment. You have BridgeVoice, and then you have BridgeMind Docs, where you can review the documentation for BridgeMind and everything that it's about. And then here's what the dashboard will look like. Let's enter BridgeMind. To use pretty much everything, like you do need to get a pro subscription. You can start a 7-day free trial. I would recommend doing it. You are going to get your money's worth of that. Please zoom into the screen real quick. Okay, I'll try zooming in a little bit. All right. Definitely should try and get a 32 gigabyte one. Yeah. How has your Claude Max 20X experience ever gotten the weekly limit full? I have, but mostly like if you hit the weekly limit, it's because you're launching like a bunch of agent teams or sub agents. Like those are the things that are going to be like really resource intensive and plan intensive. Also, it looks like this one's stuck. This one got stuck. So let's switch over to Opus 4.6 Max here. Continue working. So that's probably not going to be good. GPT 5.3 got stuck. Let's see if it's able to... Or 5.4. Sorry, we got a new one. Super Combo said, just got back from lunch. How's it going? It's going really good. We just shipped an update, but we do have this problem. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see how the terminals are styled all wonky? This is a problem that we're having that we need to fix. Yeah, you only really hit limits when you launch a bunch of sub-agents at once, but the biggest issue at hand is, like, definitely this problem here. Like, I don't have this problem when running it locally, which is the frustrating part. And maybe I need to even provide that information to it. It's saying I'm implementing the terminal styling fix plan. First, I'm loading the live stream safety guidance, then I'll update the existing to-dos. What I don't understand is that this... Hold on. Oh my gosh. Cursor is so bad. Oh my gosh. It's so frustrating. I literally just get this constantly now. Literally just constantly. Just constantly. Oh my gosh. And now I don't even know what to do because now... Oh, jeez. That's so stupid. Cursor needs to fix that. Like, badly. It just crashes. Yeah. Is the CSS styling not combined correctly in the builds? It's just related to the Xterm terminals. What is the shortcut command to talk in BridgeVoice? You have to set it up manually. So, for example, if you're on, and also BridgeVoice works really well on macOS. I think the Windows version isn't great. We're gonna work on Windows over the weekend. But look at this, shortcuts. You literally just push. I have mine set to my Shift key, but you can set it to any key combination that you want that doesn't interfere with other key combinations. Why not use the Codex app or the CLI? Because, well, I do use the CLI. I'm just using this right now because I'm trying to fix an issue that I'm having inside of BridgeSpace. So, let's see here. Another thing that I want to fix is BridgeMind UI, BridgeMind API. Review the sign-up flow. Right now, after a user enters their verification email, and they actually finish the sign-up process, it routes them back to the login page. Would you make it so that this actually logs them in on the sign-up flow when they're actually signing up? It actually should authenticate them when they finish signing up and verify their email and stuff. It shouldn't make them re-log in after they sign up. It should actually authenticate them from that. Review this and create a structured plan of how we would implement these changes across the API and the UI. Okay, let's do plan mode first for that one. Security agents are cool, yeah. You need to input specialized skills on particular agent. What are you talking about? Check for updates on Cursor. You aren't maxing your RAM usage, are you? No, I've been having that issue where Cursor's just been crashing for me for like a week now. I don't know if anybody, a couple people were saying that that's been happening to them as well. So, you know, definitely a frustrating thing. That's for sure. It's just like, oh, it's crashing. Like, dude, like fix it. You know, my goodness. All right, here. All right, this is going state clearing. All right, so let's see if this works. Let's pull up our terminals here, and let's go to npm run tari dev local. Let's start this. All right. All right, so here it is locally. I'm gonna do new workspace, BridgeSpace. I'm gonna launch 12 here. All right, let's cd into the correct directory. How's the billing look like? What do you mean? How's what billing? All right, let's go BridgeMind, and then, whoa, okay, let's launch 12 agents. And this is the thing that's frustrating, is I don't think I have this issue with the styling locally. I think the styling works fine locally. So I have no issue with the styling locally, but it's when it actually builds it. Would you say Cursor is a competitor to BridgeMind? Potentially, yeah, like probably, honestly. No, the revenue is legit. If you watch the series, you'll see it's legit. All right, let's go here. All right, these are swapping now without clearing the state, so it did fix that issue. Now the problem that we have is, so that works well now. If we do go to, let's see here. If we go to production though, you guys can see the issue that we're having. Like, we have no issues. Like, look at this. We have no issues locally, right, in launching these. Like, this is what it should look like, right? Where obviously the terminals are all styled correctly. And then you go here, and they're funky. So that is an issue that we're going to have to fix here. How are your Claude 20x experience been? Have you all ever hit rate limits? I'm not from Florida, no. Yeah, I mean, I rarely hit rate limits, but I also have all the max plans, so I kind of, like, my usage gets filtered. Oh, man, look at this. Oh, wait, no, that's production. That's production. Oh, yeah, okay, we should have that fixed. So this is an issue. This is going to be fixed once we launch. Let's just do another BridgeSpace, and let's just launch, let's CD into desktop, CD into BridgeMind, and then let's launch, like, let's launch 16 terminals, okay? And we're going to launch Codex terminals here. And let's just launch all 16 Codex, launch workspace here, and let's see how this shows up. Okay, perfect. Launched immediately, and then go here. So this is working very, very well. We go here, switch, perfect, swap, split bottom, split right, perfect. Working really well. What happens if I start a new one? Okay, that one is a little bit funky still. What is this? This is BridgeSpace. So if you guys are unfamiliar, this is the app that we're working on, and we're literally using the app that we're working on to build the app that we're working on. Let's go here. So yes, that's the problem, is that, like, I never have this issue. Which one was it? It was, I just want to make sure, was it this one? Okay, it wasn't this one. It was this one. Yeah, it was this one here. Symbol terminal changed on disk during this task, and the planned settings now appear to already be present in symbol terminal, block terminal. What do you want me to do next? Did it do anything, chat? Look. This was it. Optional. Would you note, and I want to add this in, and this is an important thing to note, is that I never have this issue locally when I'm developing locally, but I always have this issue when I'm developing, when it's actually in the build in production. Would you go through your plan and what you updated and identify if this is going to solve, if knowing this extra information is going to help us solve anything? Like, for example, this is a key piece of evidence that you probably need to fix this issue. Note that I never have it when I'm developing locally, and then once I actually have it in production, I get the styling issue. Is there anything that is causing this? Do another in-depth review and identify if there is anything else causing this that needs to be changed. You need a BridgeSpace to build your BridgeSpace. At least it doesn't crash. Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, I literally am using BridgeSpace to build BridgeSpace. Now, we do need to ship a new update because the styling got messed up here on this last one. But, like, for example, let's do Command-T. We can launch a BridgeSwarm, and this is just, like, sick. Let's see here. New customers today. We have a lot. Shout out to you guys. What's up, Z-Big? Good to see you. To fix this issue on prod, you can say the agent to put log, and you can track what caused the issue, then exactly the root cause. I think this is the best way to figure it out, why this is breaking on prod. Well, the thing is that it's like a styling related issue. So that's like my biggest caveat with this, is that it's a styling issue, right? So we could do the logs. Yes, I do. I don't know. I feel like this could work though. I do believe in this. I think that this could work. Product catalog. Okay. Your stream is tagged with YouTube featured for me. What's that mean? Let's go. Great YouTube video breaking down on all the different AI options available and where each model excels was literally the info I needed at the moment. J-Man, thank you. Happy to help. You know, that's the biggest thing. Is it's like, hey, I've been in the space for 3 years. This is an incredible passion of mine. And that's the biggest thing that I want people to understand is that, like, hey, you know, I'm not interested in being a content creator. I'm interested in building. And, you know, it's like, yeah, like, I just, that's just a very important thing that people should know. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm not interested in being a content creator. That I'm streaming and I'm building in public because that is the best way to do the marketing for your product in a lot of ways. All right, Xterm styling is different than the component styling code. Check to make sure it's compiling the Xterm CSS correctly. Okay, let's check that, Super Combo. I think you're right. Like it has to be an issue with and we do want to ship this. We want to ship to production as soon as possible here, probably within the next like 5 minutes that we can test this. Is this possible? Review this statement and identify if there is any truth to this. I mean, GPT 5.4 definitely operates different. Fabian said, what are you coding? You guys can go to bridgemind.ai to check it out, but this is what we're working on right now. So this is BridgeSpace. So this is an ADE, an agentic development environment. And basically, like, what you can do is you can literally set up agentic coding environments to be able to excel at vibe coding. So we can launch agent swarms. We can launch a bunch of workspaces to be able to manage agents in parallel. And this basically... it's pretty cool. So we're going to continue to make significant updates to it. You have a Kanban board here to be able to manage tasks and whatnot, but there's plenty of things that we need to get into as it relates to, you know, just fixing these initial bugs. How much have you made? 43,000. We just passed 43,000 in revenue. All right, let's go over here. And yeah, this is the goals. Like, for anybody that's unfamiliar, the goals right now for the next 90 days are to get to $10,000 a month in MRR for the BridgeMind suite of vibe coding tools, to reach 100,000 subscribers, 10,000 members in the Discord community, and 30,000 followers on X, as well as 2,500 followers on Twitch. So we're going to have a pretty busy next 90 days, but, you know, we're just going to lock in and be consistent and just win. So, like, it is not the same... yeah, I mean, you can go back and you guys can watch the streams. That's what I would, you know, ask that you guys do. It's like, you know, I have people all the time that come and ask the same questions, and it's like, hey, like, at the end of the day, like, the series is here for the journey, right? And you guys get to see the story. And when people come in the chat and they're like, you know, I like to answer questions, but there are a lot of the same questions. Like, hey, if you're curious about anything, literally just go watch the series. Just go watch the series, and you'll be able to see the journey along the way. Are you streaming tomorrow and Sunday? So I have kind of like started to spend a little bit more time with my loved ones on the weekend. I will say that I could potentially be streaming tomorrow midday, just because we're making so much progress and I want to keep it going. So I could be live tomorrow. I won't affirm that, but I feel like I probably could be live tomorrow. Just depends on how the day plays out. But yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing, and I was talking to some people in the co-working channel, is it's like, my favorite thing to do is build into vibe code. It's not to live stream. So the live streaming, like, I do it to be able to build the community and to be able to, like, support the mission. But hey, at the end of the day, like, you know, I love building and just like being able to like have coffee or be able to build like just in co-working when like nobody's watching. Like, it's just I don't know how to explain it, but all right, Sunday is the Lord's Day. Facts. How long did it take you to build BridgeMind to get to the current point? 144 days. All right, so what is this? So it said this was the deep dive from GPT 5.4. It didn't update any code. Would you update the code now based off of these findings to make sure that we fix the issue, and then also add in some sort of logging mechanism where we will be able to get the logs in production so that we can debug this in production after we deploy this? Okay, that's interesting. The simple act of body doubling is more powerful than stimulants for some people. Streaming, sharing, screen, and Discord, etc. achieves that. What do you mean body doubling? What's that? King Dynasty said, I've been so productive co-working while I listen to your stream as I work. Respect. Thank you, man. Yeah, I think a lot of people build along with the streams, and you know, I think that's pretty cool. We're all building together. EIN said, I love how driven you are, bro. It's contagious. Keep on building. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, this, you know, we're all building together, right? And I think that that's the importance of the BridgeMind community, is it's like, hey, we're all building together. We're all on the cutting edge of this revolution together. And yeah, like, that's what it's all about. Like, let's just keep showing up and making progress every day. And at the end of the day, if you do that, you're gonna win. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to win. We're trying to move forward. And we are going to move forward. But I don't get what WDM meant, though. For body doubling? Does anybody look like me? I need Tom Holland. I need, maybe Tom Holland can be my body double, with the two of me. General concept. I talked about a lot for people with focus issues that work better in groups with others. That's interesting. WDN just dropped in a Wikipedia article. Body doubling. Let's check this out. What is this? Body doubling? Body doubling or parallel working is a strategy used to initiate and complete tasks such as household chores or writing and other computer tasks. It involves the physical presence, virtual presence through a video call, or social media presence, or someone with whom one shares their goals, which makes it more likely to achieve them. For some people, it works best to do similar tasks, while for others, just being in the same virtual room is enough. That's actually so interesting. That's basically what we're doing. That's cool. Parallel working. Aspire just asked, what are we building? So we're building a suite of vibe coding tools. You can go check this out at bridgemind.ai. But just to show you a quick example, this app that you're looking at on the screen right now, this is BridgeSpace. This is an agentic development environment where you're able to build software at scale using AI agents. You can see I have 16, or what is this? 12 Claude Codes open, 16 Codex terminals open, and these are the workspaces that I develop in. Bridge inside Claude Code do remote control. Oh, that's for your phone, right? Yeah, I saw that. All right, Hindsight, I'll check that out. Thank you. Did you put it in feedback or what? All right, this is one issue with GPT 5.4 though, is like the amount that this has been thinking. Even though I have it in 5.4 extra high fast, it is not fast. It's supposed to be extra high fast, but yeah, super combo. Can you please share how much you are spending on Cursor Claude Code a month? I spend it's actually up to $850. You know, and the reason that it's going up is because BridgeMind is making more money, and it makes more sense for me to get more subscriptions because of the amount that I'm building. And also just like, you know, it's like, I like the high better right now. High fast. Yeah. Yeah. High fast, you know, it's like extra high fast. I don't know. It wasn't very fast is all I'm going to say there. I could probably make a post about this in on X. All right. All right, let's go over to X real quick. As you guys know, marketing is important. All right. Let's go, chat. Extra high indeed. Let's go. Fast building cursor with GPT 5.4 does not come with the 1 million context window, though. Oh, yeah. I mean, we're going to push this. We're going to push this, and we definitely want to test this out. Also, guys, we're at 258 likes. At 300 likes, I am going to be doing a cold plunge. But, you know, I think, like, one thing is just, like, I was talking about this a little bit in the co-working channel last night with some people, but, you know, it's like, it's so important that you enjoy what you do. You know, if you don't enjoy what you do, then it's just going to be incredibly difficult for you to continue doing it, right? And, you know, with software development and vibe coding, like, that's what I love. I love it. And I love, like, you know, being able to basically, like, work with the BridgeMind community. It's just awesome. I really do enjoy it. I just have to be careful of, like, I think that whenever you're trying to do something, for example, like build BridgeMind, it just... I want to get to this place, right? I want to reach a particular goal, a particular vision that I have in my mind. But it's going to take time to get there. And I think, like, sometimes just acknowledging that can be a little bit hard, right? Where it's like, I want to get there, like, next week. And the truth is, it's not going to happen next week. It's going to take, like... It's going to take a few months, if that makes sense. And it's going to take a few months of, like, grinding, you know, and showing up. So, you know, I think that it's really important to just know that it's like, yeah, like, a lot of people, they think about, you know, doing entrepreneurship, doing vibe coding and building and creating things, and they have this vision in their mind that, like, you're going to put out an app and it's just going to, like, be, like, generating significant revenue. And that, like, typically is not the case. Like, you have to be working on this stuff for years to get the results, which some people have stories where they'll like, get, like, super, like, they'll have, like, some super big success right out of the gate, which is fantastic. But for the most part, like, it does take, like, consistent hard work, right? Like, I've been doing this for 144 days. I'm going to be doing this for a lot longer, right? And I'm willing to do it for a lot longer. It's just that, like, sometimes you have this vision in your mind where it's like, you know, I know that, hey, like, I've got to keep doing this for, like, at least another 6 months to be able to get to the place that I want to be, where I'll be, like, I don't know. I want to get to the place where I look back and I'm like, how did I even accomplish this? If that makes sense. Like, I worked so hard that, I'm like, how did I even accomplish this? That's a place that I want to get to. And, like, almost, like, looking back nostalgically and be like, I can't believe what I accomplished. Do I ever see myself making a vibe-coded game? Potentially. 144 days or 35 years, whatever it takes. 100%, man. Let's go. All right, verification. So this passed. So is this ready to deploy now? Okay, so is this ready to be deployed? All right, so I think we're ready to push this to production here. I bought Codex for my startup, and just inspired by you, man, I've done dev in the past, so becoming vibe coding is like, sometimes I miss manual coding, but yeah, revolution is revolution, 100%, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, man. I mean, it's like, hey, we're all, I mean, I think that's, like, one big thing, too, is it's like, somebody asked, do I have a full-time job? You are looking at my full-time job. Like, I'm not even kidding. And this is what some people probably don't see. And I was talking about this a little bit in co-working last night with some people, but it's just like, hey, for me, you know, I've been up since 6 a.m. this morning, and I woke up at 6 a.m. and I immediately started working, and I spend so much time on marketing, and I spend, like, probably 8 hours a day on marketing, and then I am able to spend probably about, you know, 8 hours. Like, the thing is that sometimes, like, the live streamings coincide with building, but the thing is I'm not able to build at the same level unless I mean, if you guys have seen my my no talking streams, that's how I'm vibe coding. Like, if I'm not on stream, I'll literally, and I'm just locked in flow state, you guys, like, that's why I do the no talking stream, so you guys can see that. Okay, not for a blind production deploy. The changes themselves are in good shape. The rest passes, and this is. Nah, I want you to ship this to production, dude. I now want you to stage, hold on. I now want you to run the build version up 1 to 1.0.43, and then stage and commit all changes to GitHub with a version label so that it actually kicks off the GitHub action workflow and pushes all these changes. 8 hours of stream plus 8 hours of marketing equals 16 hours of pure grind. Yeah. How much have I made so far? You can look at it. Revenue 43,000. I've been up at 6 a.m. today. Let's go, Super Combo. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, waking up early is important. Yeah, shift to prod, no bugs, no errors. Thanks, 100%. Do you always listen to music when doing agentic engineering? Sounds cooler than vibe coding. Yeah, I usually listen to music. I'll usually listen to music. GD 5.4 telling you to test it before pushing it. We ain't testing it, dude. It does not need to be tested. Literally, look at this here. Hold on, let's pull this up. It's right here. It is good to go. We are good. I do like the changes that I made yesterday. These are gonna compound. I do need to get, like, one thing that would be really nice is I do need to get a video on YouTube that gets like 30,000 views related to BridgeSpace. I need to figure out how I'm gonna do that. If you can get a video that gets like 20,000 views, that'll get like significant amounts of conversions in terms of like people that are watching, and then actually not even that. Like, I'll show you guys one thing. Like, look at this. So like this video testing 5.4 with agent swarms. This was basically like I was testing 5.4 with agent swarms, but I was using BridgeSpace in the video, right? So if this video can get maybe like, I don't know, like 5,000 views, that would be helpful, right? Because that would like really, that would lead to a lot of conversions. And like, yeah, like I'm helping people learn how to vibe code. I'm like inspiring people to build, and I'm showing people how to vibe code. I'm showing how it's done. And then in the videos now, in the content, I'm subtly promoting the tools that I'm building, if that makes sense, right? Like that is the marketing strategy in a large sense, right? It's like, okay, like you are literally like marketing this while you're teaching people, like, right? You're like, okay, like, hey, like these are the best vibe coding tools to be using. And by the way, like this is BridgeSpace, right? And like you're showing people that and people see it. So, all right. Super Combo said, I can help you manipulate your videos. What do you mean manipulate your videos? You just need to do a view of that swarm playing with some crazy music behind it. Yeah, 100%, Kerr. Yeah, what's your PC? I have a, I have it on a M3 Ultra. M3 Ultra here. Also, where's Titan? Where's Big T? I'm calling Titan. He'll come up. He'll come lumbering up. Titan over here. Come here, boy. Here he comes. You guys will see Titan come on in the screen here. Hey, buddy, come on over here. Over here, buddy. Come here. Come here, buddy. Titan over here. Come here. Come here, bud. Titan over here. Over here. Come here. Over here. Over here, buddy. Titan. Over here. Hey, buddy. There you go. There he is. There's my boy. W Big T in the chat. We did a drive-by on my neighbors this morning. If you guys know what I mean. Give advice with Claude Code. People in the chat, they're like, go. Give advice. I mean, what do you want advice on? Alright, is this now done? This is building. Okay, this did push. So this has got a ton of updates. 1.0.43. This has got a ton of updates that are coming in hot, guys. So let's actually check out this build. This is going to take about 30 minutes. A little bit less than that. But let's check this out. Whoa. Okay. So this one here. Whoa, 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 whoa. 2 jobs failed to complete. What's up here? The GitHub action workflow failed. Would you review this and figure out what caused this? Cleveland's... 5 count, I'm dead, bro. Yeah, drive-by. Yeah. Once I went 100% in vibe coding, money coming accelerated exponentially. 100%, man. Yeah. All right. Well, this has got to work. This needs to... the function exists locally but wasn't in the last commit. Dude, you gotta commit everything, bro. Hold up here, chat. Sorry. You need to ensure that all changes locally are staged and committed. Nothing should be left out of the commit. OG Zilla, thanks for the super chat. He said, does BridgeSpace index our code bases? If not, I watched another YouTuber create a MCP to help reduce token usage. If you were interested to take a look at it. Okay, interesting. So that's interesting. So to answer your question, BridgeSpace does not index code bases. You know, right now, BridgeSpace, like, what it does is you're able to, you know, launch your Claude Code instances. That's actually a good thing to look into. I mean, let's drop in. I mean, we can just explore that briefly. I definitely agree with you. Like, that is something that you want to look into. Let's check this out. Would it be a good potential option for us to figure out how to index code bases inside of BridgeSpace? Don't update any code, but just explore this. Use the exit MCP and identify if this would be smart to integrate as people are asking about it. Yeah, what YouTuber were you watching doing that? That's interesting. About your education. So I went to Purdue University to study finance. My freshman year, I had a 4.0 GPA. I was on Dean's List. And pretty much my sophomore year, I realized that education, or at least classical education, is basically a joke. College is worthless, in my opinion. And, you know, unless you just want to be a wage slave for the rest of your life. But yeah, I mean, I think that in today's world, you don't necessarily need a college education. You can, especially the right person, right? Like, if you are the type of person that you have high levels of work ethic, high discipline, why do you need to go waste your time in some, like, college, like, talking to some college professor that's, like, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, once I was a sophomore, I kind of was just like, you know, I had a prestigious finance internship too after my sophomore year, and you know, it just, like, I could have gone down that route, but really what I saw is I was like, dude, like, you know, that's just not what I'm about. You know, just, like, kind of sucking up to people for the next 35 years to get ahead and get raises and stuff, and, you know, commuting and not being able to spend time with my kids or my wife someday. You know, at the end of the day, like, your family is going to be incredibly important. And yeah, if you don't get to spend time with them because you're, you know, commuting to work, like, what does that even mean, right? It's like, you know, why did you do anything, right? It's like, hold on, this is literally, oh, okay, there we go. Okay, it looks like it did deploy. Let's check this out. So let's go up here real quick. Does this action kick off? Okay, nice. Okay, nice. So this is 1.0.43. It's been running for 2 minutes. Perfect. Do I regret college? So I don't regret college, but it's for different reasons, right? Like, when I think that college is good because it's the stage between when you're, like, growing up with your parents versus, like, being out there and living on your own, right? Like, when I was in college, I lived in a single by myself, like a single dorm room with no roommates my sophomore year. And that's when I was just, like, completely alone, and I really had to start to, like, get my life together. And that was when I was just like, hey, no distractions in terms of just, like, you know, living on my own, literally with no roommates. You know, so I don't regret it because I learned so much while being there. But the thing is that, like, in terms of, like, getting the degree, like, if I was going to college and the only reason you went to college was to get a degree, I would regret that. How is Bridge Voice working? How is it working? It's uses Whisper CPP. How much time do you spend in a day in work? I mean, it varies, like, but I'll work as much as, like, 17 hours in a day, 18 hours in a day on, like, days where I'm just, like, really on fire. Other times it's, like, I mean, I would say a minimum of, like, about, like, 8 to 10 hours, you know, and then, like, based off of, like, I mean, literally I've been up since 6 a.m. this morning working, right, and I haven't really had any breaks. You know, and I think that especially in the position I'm in, that, like, I have to work, like, everything that I do, like, even just by, like, doing, like, different things, it's productive. Also, guys, we are 13 likes away from doing a cold plunge. If you guys have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Launch your app on Product Hunt. So, Abdul, I am going to launch BridgeSpace on Product Hunt and BridgeMind on Product Hunt, but not yet. We need to get stable on Windows first before we do that. So, this is building now. You guys can check this out. I need to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. You guys can keep an eye on Big T for me. He's on good behavior, but, you know, you always got to keep an eye on him. He's I don't know, you got to keep an eye on him. You never know with this one. All right, chat. Let's go. A Starship, let's go, man. Yeah, we're about to do this cold plunge, guys. Have I seen this Trust MRR? Yeah, I have seen Trust MRR. Should I put BridgeMind in there? What do you guys think? I can put BridgeMind in Trust MRR. I was actually looking at it yesterday and considering it. Let me know if you guys be interested in that, because I think that, like, you know, being able to follow along with the journey of, like, hey, at this point, the goal, you know, is to get to $10,000 MRR. I think that to have it on Trust MRR and to have everybody be able to follow along in that journey would be pretty cool. So, all right, we are 2 likes away from 300 likes. Let's go. Never know when he's going to drop one on a neighbor. That's funny. All right, sorry, guys, the music. All right, let's go here. All right, so we do have this, actually the perfect time to do a cold plunge, because really what we're waiting on is we are waiting on this to complete. This is going to take like 17 more minutes to complete. So, all right, we did just hit 300. So this is actually a perfect time to do a cold plunge, chat. I'm gonna go put my trunks on, and then we'll get into it, guys. But this is building right now, so this is perfect timing. Thank you, guys. What's up, Titan? Okay, chat, let's go. Alright, what is up with the music? The music's off. Alright, let's go, chat. Cold plunge time. Oh, also, guys, look at this. This is pretty cool. Yeah, so I do live alone. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but yeah, that's how many water bottles are on the desk? You guys do a quick count. Got the water bottles, coffee mugs. I do drink coffee. All right, I don't even care. All right, Titan, let's go, dude. Come on, we're doing a cold plunge. Titan, let's go. Let's go, dude. Let's go. All right, let's go do this, guys. All right, come on, dude. All right, go ahead. Go on. All right, chat. Here's the crib. Here's the plunge. Titan, you want to come out? Come on out. All right. All right, guys, 2 minutes. You guys know how it is. Somebody said I have to pet Titan. Pet Titan. I will pet Titan so much. Alright. Alright, let's go 2 minutes, guys. Let's go. Woo. All right, let's go. Woo! Let's go, chat. Did it. 2 minutes. All right, let's go. All right, let's get it. I will pet Titan, guys. I see the chat. Sorry, look. Good boy. You're so good, Titan. You're such a good dog. He's so good. He's such a good boy. Alright. Alright, let's go. You guys are cracking me up in the chat. All right, guys, we are back. Let's switch this back. But it looks like this is still running. Now, remember, this is a really important deployment for BridgeSpace. So, honestly, guys, I think that I'm about to switch the cam here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'll be back. Let me go throw a shirt back on. I'll be back, and then I'm gonna tell you guys a really good plan that I have. But give me 1 second. I'll be back. Oh my gosh, another crash. I wasn't even doing anything, guys. I wasn't even doing anything. Chris are just crashing on me like that. Jeez. All right, that's crazy. All right. Okay. All right, guys, we are back. What's up? macOS supremacy. I mean, I've been having these issues with cursor. Okay, we have like about 6 more minutes until this window gets deployed. The Windows build deploys. Send the swarm. Yeah. Well, I can't send the swarm on Cursor's product. You know, like that's a issue for sure. But yeah. So one thing I wanted to tell you guys, like before I left, just to go through a sweatshirt on and stuff. But it's like I think that for marketing purposes, next week is going to be a big deal, and I'll tell you why. You know, on Monday, I'm going to want to come out really strong with like some marketing related stuff so that we start to draw awareness to BridgeSpace. I think that with BridgeSpace, really what you're dealing with is like, hey, marketability at this point is gonna like carry us a long way. You know, it's like, hey, yesterday, for example, we had 20 pro subscribers. It was a Thursday. We got a new model, 5.4, which wasn't like that big of a model release, right? But next week, I'm gonna have to work like pretty hard in terms of like making content related to, obviously, like doing vibe coding related videos. But like today on stream so far, we have quite a few signups. You know, like every day, it's like boom, another 20. You know, so it's like that's where we're at right now. Is the average is about 20 signups a day, and like I'm just trying to figure out, hey, like how do you get that to 100, right? How much are you spending on marketing? Very little. Literally today was the first time that I actually spent any money on marketing at all. I literally just like boosted that X post that you guys saw. So this post that I put on X, I don't spend any money on marketing. Like all the marketing is just organic. Today was the first day that I did that. Oh wow, look at this. Introducing Codex Security, an application security agent that helps you secure your code bases by finding vulnerabilities, validating them, and proposing fixes you can review and patch. Wow. That's cool. So we maybe make a video on that. But yeah, I did a promo on this. This was just like a very simple post though, right? Got 27,000 hits. But, you know, very interesting of like, I just think that the long form YouTube videos where I subtly use BridgeMind products in them, those are going to perform very well too. So like there's all sorts of stuff where I just think that like, yeah, next week is people start to realize like, oh wow, like this is a really good product for vibe coding, right? Like people are going to start to see this and they're going to start to want to use it more. So, all right, there we go. Even ever thought of making more tiers? Example, a $60 one and a $100 one. Not right now. I think that from my previous experience, I think that having too many tiers can just make things a little bit confusing, and also make things more complicated. And I just want to start off like very simply. We could build like some sort of, you know, Teams plan or something like that. But for now, I feel happy with where we're at. Have you thought about leveraging the VS Code open source for your own IDE? I mean, we could integrate, you know, some sort of IDE, or the ability to actually look at the code inside of Bridge Code, right, or BridgeSpace. But you know, we'll get to that when we get to that. Something that I want to do, we need to do the clipping. The clipping is going to be successful once we get those clipping campaigns off the ground, which you guys are probably going to see more of next week. The clipping is going to be huge. I'm going to start to go crazy on clipping because there's so much content that really the biggest issue with BridgeMind that I see right now is just like scalability, visibility, right? Like you can't just have one account posting content, right? You need like 100. So the faster that we can get there, where we're using ViewCreator to build BridgeMind into an even larger brand, the better. So definitely important there. All right, hold up here, chat. Okay, Super Combo Gamer said, I just checked OpenRouter. OpenAI did an Anthropic move. GPT 5.4 is doubled price after 272,000 tokens. Of course it is, dude. Oh my gosh, 5.4. Yeah. Wait, did they do that after, though? Did they do that after the launch? OGzilla, thank you again for another super chat. He said, looks like the link for the MCP I pasted got deleted by Nightbot. Do you want me to send it in Discord? My username there is, yeah, the link for the MCP. Yeah, you can send it in the Discord. Yeah, send it in the Discord. But yeah, thank you for the super chat, man. Yeah, any super chats, they go fully towards, like, events that we do, like the Vibathon, the $5,000 Vibathon we just finished. When was that? Like, last week? You should do videos where you recreate popular games and use BridgeSwarm. Make another account. People won't know, but will want to get it. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, the biggest thing for me right now is definitely, like, time. Like, I don't have... I just don't have infinite time, right? I'm just one person. So, the amount that I'm able to accomplish as one person... is definitely like a big limiting factor. But I will say that, hey, over time, if we stay in the arena and we just continue to move forward, there will be things where it's like, boom, like this video hit and it performed really well or something like that. Why is revenue decreasing? Revenue is definitely not decreasing. Our MRR is actually skyrocketing, 3,500% up in the last month. So I think you are the only best vibe coder. Meaning you are building complex thing without knowing deep knowledge of the code. I think you have the idea and no basics. Only thing is the right way in current AI time. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years, right? So I do have a little bit of an advantage in some cases where, hey, if you've been around a particular technology, like, yeah, like, I don't know how I can explain to people, like, these different concepts of, like, yeah, like, the context management, right? Like, there's a lot of things and a lot of skills where I want to help teach people how to vibe code. And I think, like, what I was kind of mentioning yesterday at the very start of the stream is like, hey, that's going to be a strategy now to be able to grow BridgeMind, is that I need to do a better job in terms of making videos that are teaching people how to vibe code, right? Like, I think that that's going to be very important as we get into use meta T to toggle thinking. Meta T. Meta T. But yeah, like, for example, next week there's going to be a lot of like videos on, like, I don't know, I could do a thing on Claude Code skills. I could do something where it's like really just helping people, right? And the thing is I'm going to be subtly, you know, using BridgeMind tools in all of these videos. What am I using to build? So I'm using BridgeSpace right now to build. This is a BridgeMind product. Super Combo Gamer just dropped in a link to a developers from OpenAI Codex. Oh, that is the price drop breakdown. Do some research on hooks before you do the MCP stuff. Claude hooks. Yeah, so Claude hooks, I do understand them. The only issue with Claude hooks that I would say when you are building a product and you're trying to, you know, build, for example, like agent swarms, right? Okay, 1.43, guys, 1.0.43 is now live. So everybody, if you guys do have BridgeSpace, download the latest version. You can go to settings, and you can go to account, and you can go for check for updates. You can see install and restart. Fingers crossed here on this update. I hope that the styling issue is changed and fixed. We had 5.4. If it's not fixed, my heart, chat, my heart. All right, my heart's beating. OGzilla, thank you, man. All right. Build the future. Okay. This is it, guys. Command T. Okay. BridgeSpace. I'm getting nervous. Somebody asked, how much to super chat for you to try out my IDE or CLI tool I built? I don't know. All right, CD, BridgeMind, configure agents, Claude. All right, we're gonna do 8 Claude agents. If this isn't like styled, I'm gonna be upset. I mean, let's just leave it at 400, and I'll try it. All right, launch, please be styled. Yes, no, okay, 2 of them aren't. We had 6. But I do believe we do have the instrumentation, though, for it to fix. If we replace these, that looks good. All right, what about if I super chatted 300, would you try out my CLI tool and make a video about it? I I don't know, man. I'm not like super into like sponsors and stuff. The sponsorship price, like I do get sponsorship offers all the time, and like I'm getting about $5,000 offers for like videos and stuff. So like the premise that I've always had like on the sponsors is that like any money, if I do sponsorships, which I haven't done sponsorships, but if I do them, the money will go back to some like community, some sort of community event. But right now, sponsors are offering me about $5,000 to make just like videos for them, right? So I haven't taken any of the offers. I'm considering, but I don't know. I just don't want to feel like other people have power over me. For me, it's not really about the money. I just don't want to feel like I'm being like controlled. Like, oh, I paid you this money and now you have to promote my product. Like, I don't like that feeling. It feels like I'm working for somebody. That's the only thing for me. Yeah, that is true. Super combo. All right, so let's see this here. If we do Command T, like if I do BridgeSpace again, I'm pretty sure that all the sessions now will be like, if I do CD BridgeMind, I'm pretty sure that all these will be styled in that like weird broken way, right? Like if I do launch workspace, I'm pretty sure these are going to all be styled. Yeah, so these are then all styled. So 6 of them are styled correctly, but then after that 6, then we run into this issue. Do you guys see the styling issue that we ran into? I'm pretty sure that cursor, we did set up the instrumentation for debugging this in cursor. So where was it? It was up here. Okay, so I shipped to production and I tested it, and this is what I'm seeing. As you can see, 2 out of the 6 terminals were styled correctly, and then 2 of them were styled with the incorrect, where they were just white and blank and misstyled. Would you review this in depth? Help me find the logs associated with this. Where do I need to go to get the logs for reviewing what happened here? And would you help me figure out what happened? Yeah, so the issue that I see is that anytime after like, what is it, 6 terminals, that's where the styling like drops off. Good progress, 2 out of 8 panes now render. So it is finding the production log file. All right, I just want to make sure that nothing is sensitive here. Aiden, I have not thought about that, no. Oh, interesting. Guys, let's go. Okay, so check this out. So it says, okay, awesome. All right, so it says the logs confirmed exactly what I expected. Here's the diagnosis. So the env fix is working perfectly. Every terminal gets term program BridgeSpace force color 3. CLI color equals 1. Color term equals true color. That part is solved. The remaining issue is 100% the WebGL context limit. The logs show the exact failure pattern. Terminals 1 through 6 get renderer WebGL. These are the ones that look correct. Terminals 7 to 8 get renderer canvas with reason WebGL context limit reached. These are the broken looking ones. For example, from the last workspace you opened, you can see that they all said this. So this is what is important about this. Bridge, you should take a sponsor once a month for 5K and then just do a monthly giveaway in the Discord for the whole amount. Yeah, potentially, but that's the thing, is it's like the biggest thing with the sponsors is I don't want to feel like a content creator. I don't want to feel like the sponsors have control over me. I don't want to be like a puppet. I don't like that's the biggest things. So I'm dealing with that on my own time. I'll figure out the answer to that eventually. All right, let's see here. So this is the issue. Well, here's the problem: is the root cause now clear? So does anybody in chat know what the best practice here would be? This is a known Xterm JS limitation. The draw bold text and bright colors false setting helps in WebGL mode, but the canvas renderer has separate rendering code paths that handle ANSI attributes differently. The fix options from here are raise the WebGL context cap from 6 to 8 or higher. So the problem is it literally only supports 8 to 16. Well, now we have the log, so now we know for sure what the issue is. Here is the thing. You're talking about raising... Why is there even a cap in the first place? Help me understand that. Let's just understand what even is this cap, the WebGL cap? What even is this? What do you think a vibe coding developer should learn in terms of coding? Should we focus more on learning basic syntax, or what's good to know? Definitely not syntax. More so like workflows, context management, overall best practices, concepts, different full stack development is important. Okay. The cap exists because WebGL contexts are a finite GPU resource managed by the browser WebView engine, not by your app. Each Xterm JS WebGL renderer creates its own WebGL2 context, its own GPU drawing surface, and the browser engine enforces a hard limit on how many can exist simultaneously in a single page. On macOS, Tari uses WK WebView, Safari's engine. Safari WebKit historically supports around 8 to 16 WebGL contexts per page. When you hit that limit, one of two things happen depending on the browser. Silent eviction. The browser destroys the oldest context without reliably firing the WebGL context loss event, so terminal goes blank. Creation failure, the WebGL context simply fails to initialize. The cap in WebGL Context Manager TS was set to 6 as a conservative safety margin to avoid hitting either of those failure modes. The comment in the file says it explicitly. Okay, the problem is that whoever wrote it assumed canvas rendering was good enough as a fallback. The logs now prove that that's not true. Canvas rendering renders ANSI-style text noticeably worse. So the real question isn't raise it or not, it's what's the actual safe limit for your app? You don't have any other WebGL consumers in BridgeSpace, no 3JS, no WebGL charts, so the full browser budget is available for terminals. Raising it to 16 would cover your 8 terminal use case with room to spare, and if a context does get evicted, the existing on-context loss handler already gracefully falls back to canvas. The smarter long-term fix is to make inactive workspace terminals release their WebGL context and reacquire them when they become visible again. That way they never hit their limit regardless of how many total terminals exist, because only the visible ones hold contexts. What do you guys think, chat? Is the plan to put every app behind a paywall rather than free limited access? I mean, people like, for me, I do a 7-day free trial. All right, would you like me to implement either of or both of those? I want you to use Exa to find out what the best practice for this is. Use the Exa MCP. We need to solve this issue because every terminal needs to be styled correctly, and the canvas styling is not correct, and it is not good to have this limit for WebGL. What would potentially be a better approach to ensure that we solve this issue completely and make sure that the terminals are all styled correctly? Do an in-depth analysis and come back to me when you have different recommendations. Okay, so this is important. Does AI hallucinate on best practice? No. OG Zilla said, I wonder what the demand for this 16 terminal use case is. What do you mean? Just the demand of how many people are using 16 terminals? Also, I am going to download BridgeSpace on Windows real quick on my other computer while this is building, because I do want to see if we run into those issues, or what I'm seeing on BridgeSpace in general. So I'm uninstalling. So if you guys are unable to uninstall it, can I need to uninstall BridgeSpace? BridgeSpace. I don't have it. The heck? Okay, installing BridgeSpace. And I'll test it on Windows to be able to see what we're dealing with here. Well, OGzilla, it's less about, the thing is it only supports 6. So, I just want to fix this. Okay. Raise the cap. Alright, the best approach is this one, obviously, option A. Visibility-based context recycling. Only visible terminals hold WebGL contexts. When a terminal becomes hidden, its WebGL add-on is exposed and the context is released. When it becomes visible again, the WebGL is added on. This is what Xterm does itself. I don't know. Alright, I'm going to launch BridgeSpace here. Alright, it does look good on Windows, I will say. It looks good. Command T. It looks great on Windows. Ooh. Alright, now I'm getting it not responding. It's buggy. Oh. Alright, I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at that. Let's try that again. I need you to do web search and identify the best practice for this. Every single terminal that I launch inside of BridgeSpace needs to be properly styled. None of them cannot be styled correctly. Review the best approach, figure it out, and then implement updates accordingly. Create a structured plan with the updates. Do I plan to set up multiple MCPs for a variety of technical documentation to make AI give more accurate responses? I always wonder about this. Yeah, I mean, documentation is definitely important. AI agent fleet. Okay, I definitely have a lot to do with Windows, the Windows build, so I have my work cut out for me this weekend. They limit cursor searching, but 60% of the time the model really needs that searching capability. Yeah, 100%. Alright. Alright, this is the plan that's already done? Alright, so it's saying that the approach is when a terminal is hidden, dispose its WebGL add-on and release the context slot. When it becomes visible again, reacquire. I don't raise the context cap from 6 to 16. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't feel like this is right. Honestly. I don't think this is right. Yeah, I don't feel good about this. I feel like there's so many limitations to Xterm. All right, Mike said there is no solution until now for the WebGL limit when you still need to display all terminals. I messed up with the WebGL limit on my game. Same problem, too much 3D objects on screen. You should inform your agent plan that there are always all terminals shown and no ones are hidden. Ask Opus 4.6. That's what I am doing, though. This is Opus 4.6. Hold up here. Let's, how do I copy this? Just copy the markdown. Let's go over here real quick, and let's change the model to high effort Opus. BridgeSpace. I need you to do an in-depth review of the problem at hand, which is that you can see the problem, but this is the proposed solution, and I don't like it because we are vibe coding. You don't need 90% of Xterm features. Build your own Xterm. I mean, like, hey, when you really do think about it, Warp doesn't use Xterm. They have their own custom solution for their terminals. I'm starting to think, hold on. Would you do in-depth research, search the internet, launch as many subagents as you need to figure out how Warp has their panes, like Warp pane terminals? It's obviously not Xterm, and we're researching this in the context of BridgeSpace. Like, I want to learn how is Warp creating these custom terminals that have that have really good performance. Right now we're using Xterm, and I just feel like we have a lot of limitations with Xterm. GBD 5.4 better than Opus 4.6 now. I think that people like ask that question. It's like, I mean, it's always going to be, hey, in different use cases, they're so close that in different use cases, one is going to perform better than the other. Let's launch a bunch of these. Let's go here, new workspace real quick. Yeah, let's just work with one agent here, because I think that this is something worth looking into. You know, hey, why is it that we even are using Xterm in the first place? Yeah, I think Super Combo Gamer said it well. It's like, UltraThink is back on Claude. I did see that. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I feel good about that. UltraThink. Hey, good to be back. Rainbow mode. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that are push-ups better than sit-ups? Yeah, push-ups are completely, like, sit-ups are only abs. Push-ups are pretty much full body. Okay. I mean, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure, not even pretty sure, I know for a fact that, like, hey, Warp is not using Xterm terminals. So we could approach it with building a new type of, like, a customized terminal that wouldn't have the limitations of using, you know, using that. Like, let's move this to a workspace as well. I don't like it because there are limitations. Like, I want to be able to launch as many terminals as I need and have them all be properly styled, but right now that's not the case. This is a limitation of the styling of the terminals. Would you do an in-depth review and help me figure out what the actual solution for this would be? It could be even building our own terminals and building our own way of doing this, because we don't use a lot of the features that Xterm provides. So give me the best recommendation. I don't like the proposed recommendation that I pasted in at the start of this prompt, but I need you to launch as many subagents as you need to be able to evaluate the code and actually provide me with a best practice recommendation. Dev, we code. What's up, man? How's it going? Going good over here. You can try something fun. Let Opus 4.6 craft a prompt for Grok 4.2 to research the internet. I believe Grok 4.2 is better at researching the internet. I mean, yeah, but like, I think Claude will be able to do a good job for us here. We have 5 agents running. Let's launch a swarm related to this too. The thing is, the swarms need to be brought in. Are we rebuilding Xterm? We're not. We're gonna look into it though. I think that, like, if you're familiar with Warp doesn't use Xterm. Okay, they've got like a highly optimized terminal system, right? Where the performance on that, like, I'm pretty sure. Well, I will say this: I've had issues with Warp before where it goes wonky and it uses like 240 gigs of RAM, right? I've had that issue before where something happens and like something goes off the rails. But somehow with their terminals and their panes, it's like very, very, it's not very resource intensive. And I think that there's something that they're doing that I definitely want to like understand and take a look at, because hey, if we can figure that out, if we can figure out how to improve the performance, then we'll significantly be able to improve the performance of BridgeSpace, and we won't have to use goofy Xterm. Like, I feel like Xterm is like there's so many limitations to it. The revenue is legit. You can check back through the entire series. Warp is built using the Rust programming language and renders directly on the GPU, offering high performance and a modern user interface. Yes. So we'll see what comes back and read a little bit more on it. But right now we're just launching a bunch of agents to be able to figure this out for us. All right, I will say a lot needs to be done for Windows. And Warp is using their own. Yeah, they are. Yes. What about using Claude's research mode that's available on the web interface? I feel like you're taking the wrong approach for this ideation process you're at. Claude's research mode that's available on the web interface. I mean, we could do that. I can try that out. But here's the thing. We have the context of the code base when we're using this approach, and I actually like that a little bit better. Do you have a chart of what providers and what type of vibe coding functions they work with best? UI, coding, testing. Yeah. If you go to BridgeBench, so go to bridgemind.ai/BridgeBench. I think that there's a link in the description down below too. If you check the description, you can go to the BridgeBench. GPT 5.4 is at the top of the BridgeBench. It performs very well on that benchmark. All right, two of 5 agents are done. You have the context, which is why the prompt for research mode shouldn't be written by you, rather by the model that has the context. That's actually pretty interesting. Okay. So I am launching BridgeSpace on Windows, and I'm testing it. And yeah, I mean, the performance is actually, like, in terms of the performance of like the function, the way that the app looks, it looks great. There's like literally I wish you guys could see this. There's terminals popping up on the screen. What? Okay, this is a crazy bug. You guys have to see this. Hold up. Alright, I want to chat. I'm gonna show this to you guys. Alright. Do I use Vin? Okay, wait, hold up. Check this out. Hold on, let me move this. Okay, so here is my Windows machine, okay? Now, here I'm testing BridgeSpace on Windows, right? And if I try to launch 8, let's just try to launch 8 Codex, or 8 Claudes, okay? Wait, that didn't do it. That did not do it. Hold on. Okay, there are so many. Okay, this is a mess. It's not okay. Wait, it did for a second. You didn't see it. Okay, wait. So you guys see this? What is that? Do you guys see how it's like launching the command prompt or something? I don't know what's causing that. So I'll take a look at that this weekend. I think that like it's actually not like a bad thing. Okay, wait. Rat said, so I've been watching you since a week, and I need a suggestion. Actually, I've been working on Claude Code Wrapper, which can make Claude Code to talk with Gemini and Codex, which can work simultaneously. I need you to tell me if it is going to make any value. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, building operating systems where, you know, the agents are able to communicate with one another is important. I think that in the future, sometimes when it loads a service, it does that. Yeah, so I mean, it's like definitely needs to be fixed on Windows, right? Like that's no joke. Like Windows, a lot of people use Windows, so we'll need to work on that this weekend. But macOS works great. Okay, so here are different options that it came back with. So it said right now, option 1 is to optimize the current Xterm JS setup, which I actually don't like. Option 2 would be for Xterm, WebGL plus better batching. Native WGPU Surface, high effort experimental. The thing is like with vibe coding, stuff like this, right? It'll say high effort in that it's experimental, but the thing is that it'll be way easier to build with vibe coding than you really understand, you know? So I think that this is something that I want to work on either over this weekend or next week on stream, is that I like to build out custom terminal interfaces so that we don't have to rely on Xterm, because I think that WebGL issue is an issue. It's a problem. I don't like it. So I think we'll take a look at that. But for now, I do have a couple other things that I need to do off stream. I only wanted to stream for 3 hours today. I'm past that point. So I'm going to end the stream here for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be back and grinding. I may be live tomorrow. It just depends if I'm spending time with my loved ones or not during the day. I need to prioritize that. But thank you guys for tuning in. We made progress today. Shipped 2 version updates to BridgeSpace, and we're going to work on Windows over the weekend, and we are also going to take a look at how we could potentially create these custom terminal interfaces. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the future. If you haven't already liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, make sure you do so, and I will see you guys in the future.